Oh yeah, baby. It's Edgeworth time. Games with minimal changes to preserve the spirit. Bundle of 1 plus 2, and they actually give you both if you own either. I lucked out by only owning the first game originally. Oh, really? I got it as a bundle. The Doom bundle was only like $10. So I got a pretty good deal on all of them anyway. So it's been a while. When did I finish Ace Attorney 3? Back in January? And now we've got 2 more collections. We've got the Apollo Justice Collection, which came out back in late January or early February. And we have the Ace Attorney Investigations Collection, which is a big deal because the second game in this sub-series was never localized until now. And we're gonna be jumping into the first game tonight, and we'll probably do the second game next month. These are a bit wordier than the original trilogy. Got so excited to see this. Haven't played these games in nearly a decade. Same. I haven't played this series since the fan translation of the second game. So right away, I'm just gonna check the stuff here. I think I already set this beforehand. Text skip off. Window transparency is. I'm gonna keep it high so we can see what's going on back there. we could see Edgeworth's arms. We're not gonna be using any of that. We are going to use the arranged soundtrack, but for now we're going to keep it original. We'll use it in a later case. So, there are 2 art styles we can use. There's the new HD sprites, and then there's the pixel art sprites, which look not very good in this version. If you look very carefully, you could see that they're not pixelated properly. Like, you could see the big pixels in, like, Edgeworth's eye. But then when you look at the edge of his hair, they used what's called mixels, where they, like, take a pixel and then they, like, cut it in half. Because they're playing it on a higher resolution. Yeah, it does not look good. And I kind of wish they didn't do that. I kind of wish they had just blown the sprites up to keep it looking good. Because you can see those edges, like, very weirdly. Hi, Anna Berry, how you doing? Ghost Trick had an arranged OST too. Arranged OST, they have that for change. So, yes, we're going to play with the HD art style. The arranged soundtrack is specifically like the cross-examination and the cornered themes. Both games have arranged versions of them, but we're only going to use the original right now. We're going to keep autoplay. Well, we're not even using autoplay, so it doesn't matter. Okay, we're done. Doing great. I'm doing great too. Thank you. I mean, I hurt myself before the stream, but I'm doing good. I have injured myself, and my leg is sort of bleeding, but we've taken care of it. So, Ace Attorney Investigations, Malleus Edgeworth. This game came out in 2010 in America, and was the last Ace Attorney game on the DS that came out here until the 3DS, first 3DS game. Prosecutor's Gambit came out after the 3DS had already come out, and because of that, Capcom just never localized it. There was a really good fan translation and localization called Prosecutor's Path, which I definitely recommend checking out, but we now have a really good official translation of it. But we're going to start with Investigations, and like I said, I'm going to try to do this like this month, next month. Just get these 2 done so I can move on to more later on. Had a physical copy of the first game, so played that normally, but when I played the fan translation, I did something silly and played it on your laptop. Same. I had a physical version of the first game as well. I'm okay, don't worry. It's just weird to have people ask me if I'm doing well, and then I'm like, I'm doing great, except for this big wound on the back of my hand and on my kneecap. So anyway, we're gonna jump right into this, and just in true Ace Attorney fashion. What was that? Was that an accolade? Oh, awarded. Everything is new. Old is new. So that's for playing with the new sprites. Episode 1. Turnabout Visitor. So just like every other Ace Attorney game, the first case kind of just throws you straight into it. To make sure the defendant is found guilty, what other choice do I have? That's the job of a prosecutor, after all. It's kind of low. The volume's kind of low on this. That may be true, but why? Why go this far? Sorry, maybe I wasn't clear enough, but a guilty verdict is all that matters to me. No matter what the cost. Oh, thank you, Vanna. Thank you for the follow. I'm a prodigy among prosecutors. Always have been, always will be. March 14th, 2:05 a.m. Prosecutors Building, 12th floor hallway. So, just to put this in perspective, the final case of the third game with the up in the Medium Valley, that was the beginning of March, or that was February of 2019. So this is now 1 month later, after the end of the third game. Fortunately, you can't stick around too long, so you gotta go to bed. But saw me streaming from Discord, wanted to check you out. Love to watch and hang out another time. Of course, Annabelle, thank you so much. You have a great night. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you again for posting your art progress too. I've been really inspired by it. I've been doing daily drawings myself, elsewhere in like a sketchbook. I need to do something for the 100th day actually. That's coming up tomorrow. Hard to believe I've been away from my office for a whole month. Oh no, the text is going behind the PNG tuber. That's what happens when it's only 2 lines, huh? Well, Detective Gumshoe's been keeping an eye on my office and keeping it clean. The door's unlocked. Detective Gumshoe? Time to become small? Yeah, I might have to. What's the smell? It's very familiar. Blood? Oh, trust me, Edgeworth, I'm familiar with that smell tonight. So this music's still DS quality, so you're gonna be hearing a lot of the same music from, some of the same music from the old trilogy. What the? What's the meaning of this? Freeze. Identify yourself. Shut up. You've got some nerve committing murder in a prosecutor's office. Is that a threat? Let me make one thing very clear. What? No one gets away with committing murder in my office. No one. Edgeworth has guts, yeah he does. My name is Miles Edgeworth, and I work as a prosecutor in my local district. Little did I know that upon my return home after a month abroad, I would be thrusted into a multitude of cases and some very frantic and busy days. You got a microtuber that's a tube, table with a controller, and incredibly tiny Michael bouncing on the joystick. March 14th, 2:56 a.m., High Prosecutor's Offices, room 1202. How many high prosecutors do they need for a single district? I finished photographing the victim's body, sir. You know what? Given how much of the scene is needed, we might have to put the PNG tuber on the back burner here. Because we're gonna need that area in the bottom right. Very well. Please continue your investigation. Yes, sir. High Prosecutor's Office is the building, I think. Possibly. No, I think this is just the prosecutor's office, because, trust me, there's someone here who is not a high prosecutor at all. Hello, the Killer Nick. Yes, I know them. Or I didn't know them personally, but of course I have a connection to them via other people. I never got to meet them in person, unfortunately. Ah! Mr. Edgeworth, sir, are you okay, sir? That's not the voice I gave him before. Keep it down, detective. This is a crime scene. When I heard that a murder had taken place in your office, I ran up here straight away. Is that the voice I gave him? This is Dick Gumshoe. He's a detective with the local precinct, and the one they assigned to handle this murder case for the time being. You're looking a little pale, sir. Are you hurt? I'm trying to, like, mimic the dub voice for the anime, but that's not working. No, I'm perfectly fine, however... Look what they did to your office! It's totally trashed! That's not even close to what I would make his voice. I'll say, the culprit sullied my floor with dirt rather well. No one gets away with tracking mud into my office. Okay, is he just not gonna pay attention to the dead body? Like, is that less pressing? These new sprites are very good. You know what they remind me of? They remind me of Vanillaware sprites. Like, I'm thinking of, like, the trailers for Unicorn Overlord and 13 Sentinels. And I'm like, this has kind of the same flair as these sprites do. Whoa, sounds like you're really getting burned up over this whole thing. This crime was committed in my office, so it's my responsibility to solve it. Oh, that's just like you, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay, time to do some investigating. Agreed. Our first course of action is to gather relevant facts and leads. Edgeworth's face looks slightly off, but everyone else is excellent. I think it's funny because it looks very, like cartoony, which is completely, like, the opposite of how he acts. We must not overlook anything, no matter how small, if we are to find the truth. So I'll keep any leads or information we find etched in the forefront of my mind. Speaking of things that pique my curiosity, why of all places did the murder occur in my office? Crime scene, my office. Is it really coincidence that the murder took place here? I get the nagging feeling that this is something important to keep in mind. Yeah, I was wondering that myself, sir. I mean, you can't really say it's just a coincidence, can you? No, not really, especially because of this. Blah, blah, blah. The key to your office? For security reasons, this office's door has a lock built into it. What do you mean, sir? If you think about it carefully and use logic, it should become clear to you. Logic? By finding the connection between two pieces of information and connecting them, new information is born. That's how dots work, Edgeworth. Thank you for explaining that to us all. That is the end result of using logic. Gonna try replaying Dragon Quest XI with the top-down pixel version on. The HD and pixel in this game made me realize I never tried it. That's interesting. I would not want to bother, though. Like, it just, like, it's cool, but it seems like a novelty more than anything else. So how do you use it? I don't know how to use my brain, sir. First I recall information we've gathered with L, and then I connect them together with X. I'm sure those things make sense when I say them out loud. Now to use L and recall the facts. So essentially you gather key information and you just pick two of them, and then they connect together. And if you fuck up, you lose some of your clout up in the corner there. Doing things my way, awarded. For security reasons, all prosecutors' doors are outfitted with locks, which means it would have been hard for the murderer and the victim to get in here. Ergo, it's impossible to dismiss the location of this crime as mere coincidence. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking, sir. There must be a reason why someone infiltrated my room. What was the killer after? Why did this happen in my office? What was the killer? Okay, we don't really need to read those. They're being summed up already in the dialogue. You're really on the ball today, sir, Mr. Edgeworth. That's some beautiful logic. I don't know why I moved the sir to the first sentence, but I just did. Yes, well, when you follow the leads to their conclusion, only the truth remains. However, if the information doesn't line up properly, I may stray far from the truth as well. And if I think carefully before piecing the leads together, the logic should flow. Edgeworth's lawyer superpower, basic logic. That's why they gave him mind chess in the next game. Which the localized version being logic chess was like, okay, that sounds cool. But the official localization calls it mind chess, and I'm just like, that sounds very silly, and I love that because of it sounding silly. It'd make more sense to play that in the 3DS version it was made for, but I don't know if anyone's ported that translation to that version. Probably not. Everyone wants magic stones, riddles, and puzzles. Edgeworth, basic deductive reasoning, which 50% of the characters lack. Yep. Well, let's get started with our investigation, shall we? Yes, sir! High Prosecutor's Offices, room 1202. The basis of any good investigation is to examine everything, sir. I know that, and when I want to examine something, I simply use A when I'm next to it. Oh, if you ever feel lost and want to talk, just use X, okay? I'll give you great, precise advice as an ace investigator, sir. Something to try later if I have free time, I suppose. So, here's how this game works. There's no court sections, and there's no first-person investigation. Instead, you physically walk around the rooms, and when the time comes, we'll start questioning people, like on the spot. So it kind of blends together the investigation and courtroom segments into one coherent, like, flow. That doesn't mean we'll never be in court. Don't worry, there are moments in this game where we will in fact be in court, but that's for later. Anyone's here have nostalgia for playing this segment on the downloadable demo from the Nintendo channel on the Wii? Yep, I did in fact play that. I would check the Nintendo channel every week for DS demos. I thought it was like the coolest shit ever. Ouch, they even knocked over your chess set. Had it all set up, ready for when you got back. I figured we could play a few games. I had no idea you were interested in chess. I'm actually pretty good at checkers, so I thought I'd give chess a try. In that case, I suppose I could set some time aside after we solve this case. Though I don't expect the games to tax my mental acuity too much. Oh, actually, cool. It gives you a check mark now if you've seen it. So, okay, autoplay is just an option. Same stuff as always. There is an autosave. Okay. You called, sir? Is there anything you noticed that you'd like to share, Detective Gumshoe? Just that I rushed over here as soon as I heard there was a murder in your office, sir. Investigation's just gotten started, so I guess there's not much else to say. So, were you the one that found the body, Mr. Edgeworth? Unfortunately, upon my return, I found my office door to be unlocked. And what awaited me inside was this whole messy affair. Ouch, that's rough. Even though I left the security of this room to a certain detective. Sorry, sir. I assume you understand how to conduct investigations, Detective Gumshoe. Of course, sir. Examine anything and everything with A. By checking various things out, we can gather all sorts of evidence and information. You can see the evidence we've collected with R. For information and leads, it's L. That's it! Great job, sir. Deductive reasonable is the way to go. It's called deductive reasoning, Detective. Clearly something you lack. Oh, this is an interesting way of sorting these out. Prosecutor's badge. Proof of my profession. However, I prefer to keep it in my pocket. The prosecutor's badge is really tiny compared to my police badge. Oh, but it's really cool, sir. Much, much cooler than my badge could ever be. We played the Rhythm Heaven demo so much there. Oh, God, yes. That's like one of my favorite DS games. Imagine if Edgeworth carried all investigations like he does in this game. No more false arrests ever, yeah. It's more like a detective game with PI grilling, yep. There's no need to suck up to me, Detective. Question mark. The victim in this case, why was he killed in my office? Dick Gumshoe, age 32, homicide detective at the local precinct in charge of the individual investigation. I love how that's the same description they use in every single Phoenix Wright game. Oh, you can't present profiles in this. Okay, that's good to know. Cracks down on the pointless jibber jabber. Do you have anything to report? Sir, yes, sir. Nothing out of the ordinary right now, sir. And yet there's something out of the ordinary right in front of my eyes. Talk about a contradiction! Something out of the ordinary, huh? I should look around a bit more. This prosecutor's badge is so much fancier than Phoenix's badge. Yeah. The defense attorneys get like a plain badge, while the prosecutors get this fancy-ass, like, star. What have we here? Could this perhaps be the murder weapon? If so, it would mean that the killer made their escape after disposing of the gun here. I think I've seen one of these before. Oh, excuse me. I'm just an injured guy. You can let that slide. Care to enlighten me as to where? Oh, I know. I was issued the exact same model. I think. Ah, detective. I don't really like guns all that much. I mean, they're really dangerous. Now that I think about it, you do see this model around the precinct a lot, sir. I don't use mine much except in emergencies, so that's why I didn't recognize it. So it's the same type of revolver as the ones used by this precinct's detectives. The running animation's really quick. Oh yeah, I just noticed too, because this is on the Oh, okay, you can still hold B to do it. I was gonna say, on the DS you had to hold B while using the control pad, and this, if you just use the stick, it just automatically makes you run. Look at that run cycle. That is a very silly run. So happy to see these Ace Attorney ports of tremendous quality. Now, it comes too far from the disaster. It's a 2012 HD port of the trilogy, where no one ever blinked. Really? I had no idea that was the case. Hope we could solve this case quickly. I'd like to return to relaxing on this sofa. That thing looks a billion times softer than my mattress at home. Can I sit on it too, just for a little while, sir? Detective Gumshoe, you know I can't allow that. Until this case is solved, neither of us has time to spare, let alone rest. You're right, sir. Gonna work hard and be a real trooper to the end. Even once this case is over, I don't think you can afford to take any time off. How's it coming along? Please, I need absolute silence. Fingerprint lifting is a delicate art. Well, I never. Edgeworth is not... I love how Edgeworth can't stand being sassed. He, as sassy as he is, as soon as someone sasses him back, he gets pissy. Is this yet another batch of fresh flowers? The ones that come with a card attached every month like clockwork for you? Yep. Speaking of that, let's see what's on the card this month, sir. All will be resolved. Wendy. Oh, Miss Irony, how painful are thy thorns. Wendy, isn't that the name of that old lady with the whiny voice that's stalking? That's enough, detective. You need not remind me further. Ah, watch out for the teacup fragments there, sir. That killer's going to pay. This tea set. Yikes, you're really mad over this. This tea set is very dear to my heart. It can only be bought in England. It cost more than your whole month's paycheck. What? Now I feel like the killer's wasted one of my monthly paychecks. Oh, it's your trophy. The, Knight of Prosecutors, right? King of Prosecutors. And it's not a trophy, it's a shield. They only send this to the winning prosecutor, right? Yes, but I have no real interest in the perceived worth of other people. As for my own worth, that is something only I can determine for myself. That's so slick, sir. I'm gonna have to try saying that sometime. Fortunately for him, his monetary worth is tied directly to his worth to me. Lining up is kind of weird because of how fast you move. It's been a while since I've sat at this desk. Oh, how I've missed you. It's so tidy that it looks newer than when I first bought it. Oh yeah, that thing's so polished that it makes the mirrors jealous. Don't tell me you had no other work the entire time I was away, detective. My job is to protect your office, sir. And you did such a good job protecting it that a murder occurred in it. That's harsh, sir. Have to admit the desk has never looked better, so I guess I can't dock his pay. Oh, Chowstronat, thank you. I'm really trying to, like, lining up. I have to actually slow down. Got work early. Cool game. Thank you. Well, thank Capcom. This game is really good. This whole series is amazing. And if you're interested, I absolutely recommend looking into it. But thank you for the follow, and thank you for stopping by. Your files are all over the floor, sir. They probably fell during the struggle between the victim... Oh, they probably fell during the struggle between the victim and his killer. Oh, and I tried so hard to keep this place spotless while you were away. I mean, this just rendered all the time and effort I put in pointless. I don't recall ever asking you to clean my room. Well, I water the flowers every day just like you requested, sir. I just added cleaning to the list as a weekend special. For about half a day every Saturday, I'd come in and clean this place until it sparkled. Does he have a life? That's so... Oh, man, Edgeworth. He's so mean. Well, it's a good thing my Steel Samurai doll was spared any harm. Speaking of which, I still haven't actually sat down and watched any of that show. What's it about again? Well, I don't know much about it myself, but here's every detail about the show. The hero of the Steel Samurai, warrior of Neo Old Tokyo, is the Steel Samurai, and his goal is to defeat the evil magistrate. It's a show geared towards kids. However, its high production values and riveting plot draw in a number of adults as well. Spin-offs like Pink Princess, Warrior of Little Old Tokyo, and the Nickel Samurai, along with a deluge of merchandise and even a new stage show, gives it presence. You sure know a lot about this. Are you sure you're not some sort of rabid fanboy? Of course not. Anyone that keeps up with society knows at least this much. So, thank you for the raid. Look at him. He doesn't want to admit that he loves it, but he does. Oh my god. Oh my god. We got multiple raids. D-Pad, thank you for the raid. Shad, JV, excuse me. Thank you all for the raid. Were you playing something together? There we go. There's Shad's. It got delayed. Hey everyone, how y'all doing? I can only give one shout out every few minutes, so I'll give it to Sohn first. Were you playing Ocarina? Were we doing like a rando? Multiplayer rando? I touched my shoulder and I was wondering what that was and I forgot I had a band-aid there. Ocarina of Time's multi-world, oh cool. And that conversation lasted longer than expected. Let's return to the investigation. History takes a second to show up. There's a little bit of lag on it. Again, minor criticisms. They finished photographing the body, so it should be alright to examine this area. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. So that's a line that comes up multiple times in this game. That just essentially means that there's something to examine in this area. And what it does is it goes into like the traditional Ace Attorney first person. That's interesting. So even though this is still seen, it counts this as reading a new thing. Because it doesn't let me skip through it. Text skip. Enable speed through unread text. You know what? I'm gonna keep it off just because I might accidentally speed through something important. If I have to sit through a couple conversations twice, then so be it. Thank you so much for the raids, everyone. I really appreciate it. What do we have here? Hey, I think I've seen one of those before. It's a police badge detective. Oh, hey, I have the exact same thing, actually. Coinky, what a coinky dink. Let's take a look inside. Edgeworth's been back in the country for all of like 5 hours, and he's already gonna have an aneurysm because of Gumshoe. Police department. Oh, look, it's the Kingdom Hearts font. That's the same font as the journal in Kingdom Hearts. Name, Buddy Faith, rank detective. I like how that's all that the badge says on it. Number 1193964. I'm sure that'll be used for something. And a bunch of gibberish there. He's cute? Yeah, he kinda is. Very assuming guy. Too bad he's dead. But it appeared that our victim was a detective, just like you. I seem to have gathered a few pieces of pertinent information. Now to calmly use some logic and figure out if any of them are connected to each other. Let's see here. There's blood all over his lower abdominal area. Looks like the bullet passed clean through his stomach area, sir. In other words, he was shot. Yep, and until the autopsy's done, I don't think we'll know much more than that. Please have the body sent to the morgue once they're please have the body sent to the morgue once they're done processing the crime scene. Bullet went clean to the victim's abdomen. The body was found at around 2:05 a.m. Ah, my finger locked up and I can't crack it. Are you going to be okay with keeping track of the evidence we find, sir? Of course, this is the safest way I know to keep track of it all. Alright, if you say so. I keep all the evidence I find either in or with my organizer. When I want to re-examine a piece When I want to re-examine a piece, I have but to press R with to open my organizer. But the organizer isn't only for evidence. I keep people's profiles on hand in it too. It's probably a good idea to make a habit of checking the facts often. Crime scene notes. It's weird, they actually consider these like an evidence thing. Buddy Faith, age 29. Why was he killed in my office? He's 3 years younger than Gumshoe. Also, seeing Gumshoe being 32 and me being 37 definitely hits different. I don't believe it. I packed those files on the shelf so tight. Then not even an earthquake can make them fall off, but just look at them. At this rate, the rest of the files won't be able to withstand an earthquake at all. A problem, to be sure. Well, once the investigation is over, we'll put them back up on the shelf. See, that actually rattles Edgeworth. Oh, wait, there's something else there. It rattles Edgeworth a little bit. I already checked this area earlier, but it never hurts to take another look. Oh, we're just gonna ignore that down there? Okay. Gonna ignore the writing on the file. Oof, pain, yeah. Alright. Time for Edgeworth to put the logic together. When he feels... I made this joke with my brother back when this game first came out, but like we had this joke where everything Edgeworth had to do in his life had to rely on the logic system. So if he had to go to the bathroom, he would have to connect like abdominal pressure with toilet to be like, "Oh, that's right, I have to go to the bathroom." I like this background. Actually, look, it's kind of animated too, like some of the puzzle pieces fade and then pop back in. Alright. Signs of a struggle. Killer's goal. We don't know the killer's goal. Reminds me of the dots around your head in Heavy Rain. Yeah. I've only seen clips of Heavy Rain, but I've been told, like, when it first came out, people told me, like, oh, the game's great, and now it's like, David Cage, who cares? Files are a mess, pointing to a struggle between the victim and the killer. Found the crime scene, it's the same model. The victim was a detective. Same, oh, well, the victim, it's probably the victim's revolver. Yeah! Insert tab A in a slot B. The revolver, the standard model used by detectives. Could it belong to our recently departed? Detective Gumshoe, could you please thoroughly check the victim's body one more time? Yes, sir. On it now. Hey, what do you think Edgeworth's favorite Wii game is? Oh, is that the image of him using the Wiimote? Yep, I remember that. That's from the trilogy being released on the Wii. Very, very weird too, because they had to make the Rise from the Ashes case work. Hunger plus nutrition equals I should eat some eggs for breakfast. That was me earlier trying to find something with iron in it to help with the blood loss. Also, I'm sorry, Ayla, I missed what you said about the old it was also missing about the old iPad port. It was also missing a bunch of animation frames. Mount animations were like 2 frames. A lot of full screen images were removed and replaced with text. Used the GBA versions of the music, and some of it was missing. Why? Like, why was it that bad? I was so upset back then because it replaced the older ports of the games that were on iOS with pretty much direct ports of the DS versions. One of your many replays of the first game was those old ports. Wow. Wii versions was my first experience with the trilogy, actually. Oh, nice. It's weird how many times these games have been released, and yet at the same time, no one gives the series shit for being released. Unlike Sonic, where it's like every time Sonic 1 is re-released, people groan. Meanwhile, Ace Attorney 1 through 3 has been released like 6 times. Excuse me, pal. Let's see. What do we got here? Mr. Edgeworth, sir, this guy's wearing a gun holster. So it appears that our killers somehow managed to take the victim's gun from him. It can be assumed that this gun is the murder weapon. It was issued to the victim. Let's see what else we can find out about this revolver. It looks like the revolver is about to shoot him. Edgeworth gets shot by floating revolver. As I always say, you gotta look really carefully at every piece of evidence. You can use the right stick to rotate an object. There's no such thing as a bad angle. Use L and R to zoom in and out and get at the nitty-gritty. Hit the gritty. Oh god, that's like a very fast zoom. It is not one-level zoom, though. To think that it's so easy to take a life with just the pull of a trigger. You know, I can't ever see myself really liking guns. Oh, but I love the ones they use at the track and field meets to start the races. You take off before it's fired. Everyone always ends up following your lead. It's a good joke. To chase you down for false start, detective. Now that you mention, even when I finish first, I always wind up in last place. Looks like only 1 round was fired from this. Oh, so the killer killed the Vic with just 1 shot after wresting the gun from him? Sounds like the bad guy. Sounds like the guy knew how to handle a gun, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? We have no proof for now, but it's a distinct possibility. Guess that's about all we're going to find out. We should send the body to the autopsy. Jim! Why? Oh, why? How could this have happened to a guy like you? you alright? Did that was that sprite in the original? Actually, can I switch this? I don't think you can. Yeah, you can't switch the sprites in the middle of gameplay. That said. That's interesting. That's cool that he, like, puts his hand on. I wonder, was that in the original? I'm actually gonna check. I do wish the switching back and forth could be done at, like, a press of a button. So it's just a set of sprites, but... Wonder Boy and the Dragon's Trap had that. Yup. Oh yeah, he does. He does put his hand there. Oh my god, this looks bad. Like, I'm sorry, but these sprites don't look good in high def with the mixels at the edge. Like, look at how bad the edge of the top of Gumshoe's jacket is. That doesn't look good. It's yeah. Also, it doesn't fit, because, like, here's the thing, and I noticed this during the trailer, too. Like, yeah, if we use the pixel art, the settings are pixelated, too. But it still looks like it's in higher resolution than the sprites are. The sprites just look very out of place. And I'm not sure why. I do remember there being some people upset about the new HD trilogy because of how the reveal was teased as something Ace Attorney fans won't want to miss. It was around 4 a.m. in your time zone. You stayed with another friend that night for it. I figured it was going to be the Apollo Justice trilogy. I wasn't getting my hopes up for 7 yet. Halo 1 is still my favorite example of remaster letting you switch between old and new graphics because you could do it on the fly and there's a massive difference. Yeah, I mean, Wonder Boy and the Dragon's Trap is like that too. That new Rugrats game that came out, Rugrats in Video Game Land or whatever it's called, that's literally an NES game with like HD graphics splashed on top of it, which is pretty much what Wonder Boy and the Dragon's Trap was as well. I love that game. I loved that game so much. I streamed it a couple years ago on hard mode. Oh, I meant the 1, 2, 3 HD trilogy. Oh. Guess whose house got robbed yesterday? Are you serious, Karma? Are you okay? How do you always manage to get in these situations? Are you alright? Did you lose anything? Edgeworth looks like a monkey. Look at that. Look at his face. They stole 25,000 pesos. That's a lot. Okay, I don't want... Yeah, I don't even want to... You know what? We'll let this play out in motion for a little bit. Don't touch me! Leave me alone! Just let me be! Sorry, but I can't do that. The investigation is still ongoing, so please refrain from touching the body. The body? The body? Don't talk about him like he's just some lump of flesh. Look at him. Jim looks like he's just turned in for the night. Sure, just in a blood-stained suit, pal. Okay, so these are still HD. Where are my manners? Aren't you that prosecutor? Why, yes I am. I'm Jacques Portsman, prosecutor. Jim here was my partner in crime, Bustin'. I'm Miles Edgeworth, and like you, I'm also a prosecutor. Detective Dick Gumshoe, sir. So you're Miles Edgeworth. Guess this is your office? Yes, that is correct. Then it was you! You're the one who killed Jim! Hey, don't go around jumping to conclusions, pal. Just calm down, okay? I will not. I know how things work around here. High prosecutor's office doors all have locks built into them. And only the owner of the office has the key to his or own office door. Hope they find the suspect. Did your family call the police on them, at least? That sucks, Karma. I'm so sorry. Cops came, yeah. Okay. Well, hey, hopefully you'll get the money back. They only found bits of evidence. Well, I mean, any bit's, you know, any bit's better than nothing. Are you gonna be okay in the meantime? That is correct. However, I was not the one who killed your partner. Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth has been overseas on a business trip this whole time, pal. And the key to the door was with me the entire time, okay? Made you watch the place just in case? Okay. So the only one who could get in here was me! Wait, that means... I'm not sure what that means. So it was you then! You're Jim's killer! No way, pal, you got it all wrong! Everyone calm down. Mr. Portsman, correct? If you're a real prosecutor, you should know how to stay collected. The investigation has only just begun. Isn't it too early to be drawing conclusions? As long as you and your family are okay, no one's hurt, right? Yeah, that's what matters most. Is the rest of your family out now? Alright, I get the point. You're right, my mistake. I tend to get a little too hot-headed sometimes. You sure are one cool customer, though, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay. This badge's design is set to reflect the relentlessness and discipline of law enforcement. It comes from the authority vested as the strict protectors of the law, and executors of sentences, much like harsh winter frosts and blazing summer days. To wear it is to identify oneself as a prosecutor, but I have no interest in doing so. Each prosecutor's badge is engraved with a number of its owner on the back. Numbers. As if we're not human on the inside like everyone else. Where's his number? Wasn't his number visible in the DS version? Different game over scenes depending on the situation. You know what? I don't think I've ever hit a game over in this game. Please tell me the number wasn't actually visible in the original version and it's not visible here. He does have a sense of humanity. He's a big softie, isn't he? Edgeworth just has a very strict moral code. Hi, prosecutor with this prosecutor's office. It's my first time speaking with them. Age 29. I think the numbers are only on the attorney badges. Well, he mentions the numbers here. Yeah, each prosecutor's badge is engraved with a number on the back. His moral code is a roulette wheel. Yeah, kinda. I've heard all the rumors about you. You're the great genius prosecutor. You're something of a legend, you know? Anyway, let's call a truce and work together, okay? Now how about a handshake to seal the deal? You gonna be like Phantom Limb? You gonna like shock him to death? A pleasure to work with you. You guys were conducting your investigation, right? Sorry for barging in like that. Carry on then. It's your room after all. Thank you, I intend to. Just want a little more time to say goodbye to Jim. You there. Sir. Ugh, yeah, this doesn't look that great. I want you to capture this scene on film for me. My final farewell to my partner, Jim. Yeah, okay, I'm sure there's nothing morally wrong with taking photos of a dead body for sentimental purposes. I should probably give them some space. I think Gumshoe, he does look a bit like a gorilla. Yeah, his sprite does, like this. So, I think, you know what it is? I think I've pinpointed why I don't like this. Because, like, look at these backgrounds. These are clearly done. These are clearly, like, you know, like higher res versions of the DS backgrounds when you have the sprites on. So they're the same pixels, just with aliasing going on the edges. Meanwhile, you have these sprites, which have no aliasing at all, and they have pixels at the edge, which I've brought up multiple times now. So it just looks out of place. Like, these sprites don't look like they go with the scenery. Whereas if you switch this into the high-def version, then at the very least everything matches up, because the backgrounds look better too. In fact, I'm going to switch it back. I think we've seen enough of the retro sprites in this. We'll just say it's for investigation purposes, yeah. Also, apparently some early versions of what the HD style was going to look like came out, and all of them were just like the sprites, but with like really ugly filters over them. So thank God they decided to redo this in like full HD. It's just way better. Yeah, it was worse on the mobile versions because there were no options. It was high quality backgrounds with original sprites. Anyway, back to the nice looking thing, because like even like the backgrounds are still the high quality ones, and they at least don't clash with like, yeah, it's still a little bit like, you could tell there was a little bit of AI upscaling going on here at spots, which is common. The games have been doing that for a long time, but like at least it doesn't clash with the sprites too bad. Also, this is a badass pose for Edgeworth and Gumshoe here. I might make this the I might have to make that the thumbnail. Put my PNG tuber back up there. Wrong button. I actually think my PNG tuber froze. Sonic X Shadow Generations, yeah, it did. Hey, V2, how you doing? Pixelates Michael Macaw OS and stores them on my phone. That's a chapter opening pose, yeah. I want that as a thumbnail. Hold on. Let me reload my PNG tuber. Yeah, also, if you're just joining, I can't really use the PNG tuber here because this game, because I probably can't use it for the rest of the series because the way the text is formatted onto two lines means it's going closer to the edge of the screen, and we also kind of need the edge of the screen to investigate, so it's just not viable for this game. Doing well, and really, yeah. What if become a transparent ghost? You know what? I probably could do that. Hold on. Give me a second here. Let me do this for screenshot purposes. Good. More like Edgeworth of the screen. Could I just make this? I'd have to put a filter on it, I think. Effect filters. Luma key, scroll, render delay, image mask blend, maybe? No, that's not it. Do big brain mode if it fits, yeah. Oh yeah, Evie, I hurt myself. I scraped my leg really badly and my hand this afternoon, or this evening. Draw my human Sona for the Ace Attorney series? I mean, maybe. Color key, chroma key? No, color correction. Scaling aspect ratio. Scroll, sharpen. Maybe I could chroma key? Brightness, gamma, contrast, opacity. Here we go. Wait. Wait, no. But why can you see through me? Okay, wait a minute. That didn't work. Pure white. Similarity. Oh wait, I could turn the similarity down. There we go. And now opacity. Woo! And I'm gone. If I just turn that off, okay, I'm back to normal. But now it looks weird because I'm just transparent. I'm just a ghost. Also know you have one for the Battle Network games, so I think you should invest in a room overlay. Yeah, I've been meaning to try that for a while. I think an overlay would be best, especially for games like this, but there's some games where I just feel like it wouldn't work very well. Had it happen, I tripped after getting my vaccinations today on the way home. I actually don't have an overlay for the Battle Network games. I don't have any overlays, period. I had an overlay for the charity stuff. Burb Ghost. Also, if you missed it, I mentioned before I drank the Zero Sugar Oreo Coca-Cola. And, yeah, it wasn't good. I don't know. I don't know if I really like this. Like, it's kind of weird. Like, it's just pointless, I feel. Like, yeah, I'm on screen, but, like, why am I so, like, invisible? Maybe like 90% opacity. Okay, we'll see how this works. Problem is, you still can't see past the yellow on my body. So did you get your COVID and flu shot then? Yep. When you got your COVID shot, it made me feel bad. Well, if it was going to make me feel bad, it hasn't kicked in because the adrenaline from getting hurt kind of overwrote that. Ah, your jacket, sir. What's it doing on the floor? Must have fallen off the wall when the killer tried to threaten me by firing a round. So the killer not only shot the victim, but they shot your jacket as well. They dared to shoot the ultra-special jacket that you made your prosecutorial debut in? 69% opacity would be too low. Also, yeah, I can't really see past the yellow, unfortunately. So, I could try, like, 78. That's a little better. I don't know. I feel like this almost isn't worth it. It's just, you need too much to get through the yellow properly. That's 69%, and unfortunately, that does look very good with the text behind it. Yeah, I mentioned this before, but I got my shots today, and on the walk back, right in front of my house, I tripped on the sidewalk and, like, tore off, like, the top layer of skin on my kneecap and the back of my hand. It sucks. Only took the COVID shot for now, because when you took both, you felt awful. I think the COVID shot was the culprit, though. I usually get both at the same time now, just to get it over with. This looks good? I guess it looks good. Again, it just looks weird. Like, I don't know why I would do this. Probably the live-action movie was somewhat recently put on Amazon Video with official English subs. To rewatch that sometime soon. Especially because I think I've only seen it with fan subs. I wonder which is better. You know what? I would be down for a movie night where we watch the Ace Attorney movie. That thing is so wacky. I love it. What if they had shot through it? It would have been a disaster. It's not worth getting worked up over, Detective. Not when there's something more here. Huh? Like what? I take it you haven't noticed yet, Detective. There's a giant contradiction right here in front of us. Really? People watching this on YouTube, I'm sorry that I'm futzing around so much with settings. Did I say contradiction? He must be rubbing off on me. I'm starting to sound like him. So, this is something that I'm gonna point this out right now. This is something that comes up a ton in these two games. Whenever Edgeworth mentions Phoenix Wright, he just calls him or the guy in blue. He never mentions him by name, ever. For whatever reason. But I have my own methods, and I'll conduct this investigation my own way. He's so flustered over Phoenix. When the scene before me contradicts a piece of evidence, or seems off, that's when my deductive skills come into play. First, I have to find the spot that holds the contradiction. Jacket sure brings back memories. I remember you used to wear this around the time you became a certified prosecutor. It was a present from my mentor. Prosecutor Manfred von Karma, huh? Yes, I don't wear it anymore, yet I can't bring myself to throw it away. I don't know why that's there. All the spam bots recently have been getting, like, caught ahead of time. So I don't know why they're showing up now. Must mean a lot to you, even with the little bittersweet memories it holds. Yeah, remember when that guy died in the stand, and we couldn't do anything about it? I like how the rent-buy prices are slightly off from the usual price in there, because it's probably converted from yen. 89 cents and 3.59 instead of, the English movies ending in 99 cents. Buy is only $3 for that movie? Oh, man. Where is that? Is that on Amazon? Link me to that. I might have to buy it, and we might have to do, like, a, you know, secret movie night where we watch that movie, because it is so good. Not like I stay awake at night thinking of him, cuts him in bed. Well, goddamn. Eating some yellow curry right now, by the way, Michael. It's delicious. Oh, I love curry. I'm a fan of the colored curries, especially if it's spicy. Thank you. Watch Ace Attorney. Buy movie. Oh, it's on sale for $2.59. Wait, it's rentable for free for me. Oh, you know why? Because I ordered something from Amazon today. I must have like a discount. I'm down for buying that movie for $3. That is well worth $3. Don't like spicy stuff, really. Got a call from this bug thing asking if I had curry. Okay, I'm waiting for the punchline there. I'm waiting for your punchline. Or is that a reference that I'm not getting? But you know, I've got an old coat of mine hanging up in my room too, sir. Yesterday was laundry day, so it's just drying off, but you get the picture. Find out tomorrow. Ah, interesting. Intriguing. Everyone should go follow Ephraim225's YouTube channel. Because he posts good stuff. It's like your sofa was spared. Thank good. Talk about good luck. And just what is so lucky about that. Well, I'd hate for my napping spot to have a huge hole in it. Napping spot? Just joking, sir. Honest. I wouldn't dream of sleeping on such a nice, comfy sofa. He just keeps digging himself deeper and deeper with each passing word. See, now the problem is the blue text is too light to be seen behind me. This is it. This bullet hole is where the contradiction lies. When I spot something that's off, I should point my cursor at it and press X with conviction. Deduce! And when I found the sufficient proof to prove the contradiction, I present it. This is how I do things. This is how I roll. Only one shot was fired, but he clearly shot the wall. Eureka! Also, that voice clip is very weird sounding compared to his objection. Why does it say it's G-rated? What, the movie? Is it? Where does it say it's G-rated? I don't see that actually on here. Cerebral drama. I like this. I like the. Oh yeah, there it is. X-ray G. Why is it? What's X-ray mean? I like how the genres are drama, suspense, cerebral, joyous. Look, drama, suspense, cerebral, joyous. And everyone loves murder. Yeah, for some reason I could rent it for free, or I could buy it for $2.59 instead of $3.59, which is really interesting. I'm absolutely going to buy it. Having access to that would be great. That's such a fun movie to watch with people. X-Ray is a feature on Amazon Video which shows the names of the actors while they're on screen. Oh, that's cool. Hey, Azu. How you doing? Deduce, seduce, motorcycle. What? LOL. Oh. The contradictions in the bullet hole. What do you mean, sir? It's elementary. 2 shots were fired in this room. The first felled the victim. And the second felled this frame. Hey, that's right! However, this gun was only fired once. Hey, that's true too! Which means that one of these 2 bullets was fired from a different gun. Did the killer have another gun prepared for tonight? By the way, I noticed something, sir. Yes? What's with that thing sticking out from behind the frame? Ah, that. It's a secret safe. A secret safe? Oh, I smell money! I'll spare us the trouble and just say it. Nothing like what you're imagining is inside. Now, if you could kindly move this frame out of the way. Roger that. Talk about dusty! I suppose that's what happens when I'm not here to... Oh, I suppose that's what happens when I'm not here to dust it once in a while. I had no idea there was a safe here. I'd have kept it clean for you, sir. So when did you put this thing in? It wasn't something I had installed personally. Every prosecutor's office has one. Really? I had no idea. Well, only prosecutors are supposed to have knowledge of their existence. So what's inside, Mr. Edgeworth? Right now, nothing. Remember X-Ray being a neat thing on the Wii U version of Amazon Video at the time, since it was all in the gamepad. It used to show trivia of scenes as they showed too, but I think they reduced it to only actors now. Oh, I would have loved that for the Ace Attorney movie. That would have been such a cool thing to see. And yeah, Robo Bunny, I saw your comment earlier. You saw the scene of the characters doing the anime fall gag. That movie does such a good job of being like a live-action anime. The way I described it was, it's like the live-action Mario Brothers movie if it was good and also about Ace Attorney. The level of technology in that movie is very weird and like almost kind of like retro punk in a way. It's portrayed in a very interesting way. Frederick's neutral special. He wields a gun. It's just the amount of guns involved with Edgeworth is baffling. Yeah, every case that involves him or his office, there's a gun. We only use them to store especially important evidence when a trial's in session. That's it? Talk about squashing my hopes and dreams. Trial evidence use. Secret safe data. Jotted down in my organizer. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. I think I could skip reading that line for future investigations. Never knew there was a safe hidden back here. Well, if detectives knew about them, then they wouldn't be secret now, would they? Are there any other secret hidden things in this room? Even if there were, I would defeat the purpose of them being hidden if I told you. So don't bother looking for them. So there's no, like, hidden camera around, right? And what if there was? No, it's nothing. Forget I said anything. I even want to ask what he's been doing in my office while I've been away. Now this is odd. You found something, sir? This keypad. Don't you find it to be a bit too clean? Yeah, there's a thick layer of dust all around it, but not in the keypad itself. You there, forensic scientist. Yes, sir. Could you please dust this area for fingerprints? You got it, sir. Couldn't find, let alone lift, a single print. Looks like it was wiped down well. Prints were wiped. As I thought. It appears that logic is the only way around this setback. Time to rationally and calmly connect the dots with the information we have. You called, sir? I seem to have picked up a few good leads. Oh, so now you're gonna do that thing you do with that information, right? What are you babbling about? The brainy thing you were talking about just a few minutes ago, sir. Logic. You said that you can look at all your leads and info. See, again, I thought it was into when it says info by pressing L. My PNG tuber obscuring it all was making it too hard to read. Then you pick the ones that seem related with A and connect them with X. That's your way of investigating, right, sir? Yes, which is why this exercise in explaining my own method to me was unnecessary. Okay, then how about I explain my logic to you next? That is even more unnecessary. I'm just a lowly detective, so I'm not sure what I should do with that other than to arrest it. Is that the only talent you have? Oh, wait. Victim's gun, huh? It's the same model as mine. Tool used to protect lives, yet one that can also take lives away. Those who take a gun in hand wield a great responsibility. Hope you understand that. I don't really use my gun at all, sir. The only time I would use this baby is when I'm fighting a hot duel with a convict to look ultra cool. You were doing so well until that last bit. I had no idea you had one of these things. I mean, I thought I knew everything there is to know about you, Mr. Edgeworth. I feel like I've caught a glimpse of the hidden side of Miles Edgeworth. There's a great deal that you don't know about me. At least I hope so. Want to get Lollipop Chainsaw and Natsu 20th Century Summer Kid on Steam. Keep going back and forth, though, telling myself I don't need the games, but I want them. Have you heard of either of them? Played Lollipop Chainsaw back on the 360 and loved it. So I've heard that the remake of Lollipop Chainsaw is not good. It has a lot of issues that, like, modern ports should not be having. I would probably just stick to playing it on your 360. Natsumon 20th Century Summer Kid, though, I've heard is really good. If you like those, like summer vacation games where, like, you're in the Japanese countryside, it's very chill and you'll like it. I still haven't finished the Shin-Chan one, so I'm going to be going back to that at some point. Take a sip every time Edgeworth or his office's case involves a gun. Maya gets suspected for murder, or Gumshoe has a puppy brain. Yeah, that's every moment of every case. Okay, it looks very cute. Yeah, it does. Why does this happen in my office? What was the killer after? Wiped fingerprints, another handgun, sign of a struggle. Probably killer's goal and wiped handprints. I believe I figured out what the murder was after. Well, what is it, sir? The fact that the safe was wiped clean of fingerprints suggests that the criminal had at least attempted to open my safe, making the culprit's motive for breaking and entering theft, I believe. Wonder if knowing the motive behind this break-in was theft changes what the other pieces of information can tell me about this crime. Signs of a struggle, maybe? Yeah. There's a possibility that the files splayed on the floor are not the result of a struggle between the victim and his killer. Oh, you mean like it could be from when the killer tried to find something, sir? Precisely. We need to figure out if any of the files have been stolen. Yes, sir. I'm gonna shelve files like you've never seen before, even at a library. Sure. Let's give that a try. Why do all the good ones always die so young? Surely you must ponder that every once in a while, Mr. Edgeworth. I mean, I do. No matter how much we will lament, the dead will not come back to life. All we can do is search for the truth. Apparently the actor who played Phoenix in the movie was also his voice in the latent crossover game, but he didn't continue the role because he retired early for cocaine allegations. Guess the stigma against that's worse over there. Oh, you don't know how bad the stigma against substance use is in Japan. You can lose your entire career just for getting busted for having weed in Japan. That's how rough it is over there. Adultery, your career's over. The guy who voiced Amuro Ray in Gundam, as well as a bunch of other stuff, he lost his career. He had to retire because he had an affair, and if that goes public, you're screwed. Yeah, Yakuza VA got thrown out. The guy who played live-action Jotaro in the Diamond is Unbreakable movie apparently also met that same fate because he was drug possession. Sorry, I do drugs. Excuse me, I'm gonna take some painkillers here because it's been 4 hours since took them. One guy got publicly shamed for stealing coffee. That's weird. I'm taking Advil to subside the pain from the fall. And, so what are we supposed to do? How do we go about finding the truth? First, we calmly restore the files to their rightful place. You got it. Here, let me help. So this file goes here, and this book goes there. You sure know a lot about where things go, despite it being Mr. Edgeworth's office. Because I'm the one who keeps it tidy, pal. Okay, done. It would appear that the murderer was definitely committed here. The bloodstains on the bookshelf are still so fresh. Suspect the victim was killed in a standing position, hence the prints in the shelf. And the guy fell into the floor, right? The blood on the floor is kind of grossing me out. Detective, I don't have time to deal with your weak stomach right now. Hey, Neat Dreams, I'm okay outside of the injury, but you already know about that because I told you. You saw my tweets. Sorry, I do drugs. I'm gonna take some pain meds. So Macaw does frugs? Frugs? F-R-U-G-S. Yes, Karma, I do frogs. Canon. No, I'm taking pain meds. Oh, Karma, you weren't here when I talked about that. I had a very bad injury earlier. I slipped outside and I tore up my kneecap in the back of my hand really badly. It's my kneecap is still technically bleeding, but I have it like covered, so it's just going into the covering. There's nothing I could do about it. Like, I've washed it out. It's just still like kind of like dripping down a little bit. So I have to keep it covered for now. But you know I'm no good with blood, sir. I'm certain there's something wrong with this picture. I'm actually okay with blood. Like, it sucks if I see it, but I'm not too like grossed out by it unless it's like visceral blood with like organ pieces and shit mixed in with it. Put them all back, just as they should be, sir. Doesn't look like anything's missing. Although it does look like a killer moved the body to flip through my shelves. I wonder if they found what they were looking for. Victim's handprints. Must have tried to support himself with his hands after being shot. There are prints in the floor, too. Wait, if he supported himself, why are the handprints backwards? Those must have been made when he was unable to stay standing. He dropped on the floor. That's almost as painful as your kneecaps getting scratched when you got into an accident. I mean, that's what happened to me. I could show you the injury, but trust me, you don't want to see it. It's not pretty. And I'm not showing off on stream, obviously. I'm talking to you personally. This is where the bullet lodged itself after it went through the victim, huh? For the bullet to be lodged so squarely in a file's spine indicates that the files were ransacked after the shooting had occurred. And I guess the victim was moved because he was in the killer's way. Whoops, did not mean to do that. Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? I completely forgot you could do this, actually. The X on the, investigations. Killer moved the body because it was leaning against the bookshelf. Blood in this guy's pants proved that pretty well. In a sense, I suppose. See, I'm not completely useless, Mr. Edgeworth. You're good. Edgeworth's actor in this movie is the protagonist of a cis-empreg Japanese drama show. What? He's expecting. Original title, Hiyama Kentaro no Nishin. When a successful ad executive who's got it all figured out becomes pregnant, he's forced to confront social inequalities he's never experienced before, or never considered before. IMDb rating, 3.2 out of 10. Oh, man. That's on Netflix. I might have to put that in the back. How long is this? Is this a movie? Episode guide 8. Okay, episodes 8. Okay. I might have to watch that. Okay. 1 second. Comedy, drama, fantasy, romance. Okay. I was gonna say, if that's not a comedy of some sort, what the hell would that be? One second. Just taking care of something else here real quick. You know what other thing about the Ace Attorney movie is really cool? Directed by Takashi Miike. The man, the legend himself. That's just the best thing I could have found when researching the movie actors. Yeah, that's the Miles Edgeworth Phoenix Wright story. Alright, well, I'm gonna look into this later. I actually just went and purchased the movie, too. Just to get it while it's on sale. Appears he was moved after being in a sitting position while shot. Wait, what? It appears the victim was in a sitting position here after being shot. Oh, so that's why the seat of the victim's pants has blood on it. So, okay, I'm sorry to keep going on asides here, but something that this game is doing that Emio, the Smiling Man, doesn't do, and it annoys me, it does not show the last line in the history until you make it go away. So, like, see how Edgeworth's line is here and then also here? In Emio, they don't do that. The line would be here, but then if you pull up the history, it would just be from this line back, which is kind of weird. It kind of throws me off when I'm trying to look at the history if I want to reread something, because then the last line that's been said is just not there. By the way, I'm almost done with Emio. I want to finish that this weekend. Oh, well, about Lollipop Chainsaw, you have the original emulator in your Steam Deck, so you'll just continue to play from that. Thought maybe the remake would be worth it, but I guess not. You could still play it. Yeah, I heard it's not very good. I've heard that there's scenes, there's parts missing, graphics are not as good. Like, some of the shaders just look really bad. Apparently it doesn't run as well. It's disappointing. But again, I've never played Lollipop Chainsaw, so I don't know what the bar is to clear on that. That would be the logical conclusion. Mr. Portsman, a word, if I may. Oh, Jim, your laugh, your smile. I'll never be able to joke around with you again. Don't you worry, Jim. I'll joke enough for the both of us. You'll see. He's not listening at all. Mr. Portsman's off in his own little world, it seems. You have anything to report? Why is he pointing away from him? Sir, yes, sir. Seeing Mr. Portsman tearing up like that has brought an unstoppable torrent of tears to my own eyes, sir. You good friends with Mr. Faith, pal? No, sir. But I can't help myself. I'm sympathetic to other people's tears. I may make a suggestion. I clean myself up as to not give the wrong impression. May I have a word with you? Please, I need absolute silence. Dusting for prints at a crime scene is a most sacred process. A man loves his job. Maybe a bit too much. Hey, Arts and Fights, thank you for the raid. Thank you for the follow, Pinky Fox 22 TV. Wow, we're getting a lot of raids tonight. Thank you so much. Oh, Shell Shock, hey. Let me give a shout out there. Oh, I never give you a Shell Shock. I never give you a shout out to the people who were here before, after Sohn raided me. What were you playing? Bot and Kaitos Origins, nice. You should all give Hearts and Fights and Shell Shock Prime a follow as well. Hope all is well with me. We were playing Bot and Kaitos. I've told this story like 3 times now, because I've gotten raided like 3 times tonight. I fell and hurt myself pretty badly right before the a little while before the stream. I scraped up my kneecap and the back of my hand really badly. Like I pulled like the top layer skin off both. Enjoy the Edgeworth? I will. A raid and run, if you will. Hey, it's all good. Thank you for the follow, Hearts and Fights. Thank you for the follow, Intern Duck, as well. Thank you so much. Y'all are helping me out so much here. I've been stagnant on followers lately, so thank you. I've been really trying to gun for 750 lately, so I could finally get to 1,000. And it means a lot to me to even just throw the follow, even if, like, you don't come by often. I appreciate it all the same. Anyway, for everyone who's just entered, I'm Michael Macaw. I'm a variety streamer. I mostly just play through games fully. I don't do a ton of, like... I don't do a ton of special things and collabs, but I'm open to them. So, thank you for stopping by, and I hope you enjoy what you see. Also, my PNG tuber's a ghost right now, because I need the space visible. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and, I'm going to up that a little bit here, because it's still not enough. Oh, thank you. You absolutely do not have to cheer bits. I'm good on money. You do not have to cheer bits, but I appreciate it. You love my PNG tuber? Thank you. I'm sorry it's not entirely visible right now. They're so cute. Aw. Shell Shock, I think you're the first person to ever do that enough to make the alert come up. Thank you. Sorry that's so loud. I haven't used that in literal years. I don't think anyone's ever donated enough to have that come up. Look at this. Look at this man. His head is... There's no dots in that head. His head is empty. Anyone watching this on YouTube is probably going to hate how much I'm, like, flying off the handle here. Do you think my, monkey, yes. Do you think my PNG tuber is cute when I do this? Now, I am hamster. What am I supposed to be doing here? You called, sir? So, any keen insights, detective? Ah, Shell Shock, thank you for the gift sub to Hearts and Fight. Thank you for gifting the sub to Hearts and Fights. Again, I don't need the subs and the bits. I appreciate it, but I'm good on money. I more appreciate the follows and people coming by and talking. That means a lot. That means the world to me, and also it means the world to Twitch because that means my stats go up. But I'm you know, we all aim for partner. A lot of us are not going to make it, and that's fine. Thank you though. Well, I noticed that you haven't found anything odd about the crime scene yet. That's unlike you, sir. If you spot something that seems off, you should check it out. All you have to do is line the cursor up where you see a contradiction, and press X. But after that, you still gotta back up your hunch. Pick the piece of evidence that does the job and present it with X, sir. It's that easy. I suppose you spotted something already, which is why you've explained all this. Not really. But hey, that's what you're here for, Mr. Edgeworth. To find them all in a jiffy. Or a yiffy, as it were. Being with overconfidence as he none too subtly cries for assistance. Okay, I guess we gotta go back to the crime scene here. Certain there's some... Oh! I'm certain there's something wrong with this picture. I also have, Leave and Lurk, have a great stream, everyone. Peace and love, y'all. Oh, okay. I'll show, if you come by again, I'll show you more forums I have for this PNG tuber, because there's a lot of them. Okay, what's not matching up here? This is where the bullet lodged itself after the victim was fired upon. Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? Body was found around went through the victim's abdomen. Okay, you can't present profiles even for these. I actually don't know. Should do the same. Have a good stream, friend. Good luck on solving the mystery. Thank you, Varaxis. Varaxis, excuse me. I missed an S there. Bloodstained hands that seem to be the front instead of the back? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. This is clearly where the contradiction lies. I don't really see what's so wrong with that spot, sir. I don't know why I'm talking so slow. Ah, you don't understand? You see, therein lies the contradiction. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, it'd be nice if you just admit when you're wrong. That wasn't a mistake! That was me keeping you on your toes, detective. I'm actually kind of lost here. Also, I think my chair sank. I'm gonna lift it back. Oh god, it's gonna be so hard to do this with my kneecap. Ow! I think it stopped bleeding at least. It just looks like it's very scuffed up. So there's like blood stains on it. But like these blood stains, not this kind of blood stain. I don't know. Wait. Here's the victim was in a sitting position here after being shot. I have a feeling about the kneecap getting scraped. It happened to you last month. Yeah, not only that, but the back of my hand got sliced up too. It's scary because like it's blood stained, but then like washing it doesn't make the blood come off because it's still technically bleeding. I have no friggin' clue what to do here. I'm assuming it's crime scene notes. Wait, okay. He was shot after the... Wait. Indicates the files were ransacked after the shooting had occurred. I guess the victim was moved out of the way because he was in the killer's way. It's gotta be... Okay. I think it's gotta be this in the crime scene notes. There's clearly a contradiction here with this bullet hole. There we go. Was out with a friend. It was raining hard to the point where the sidewalks wet. Fell and scraped your knee. Right foot also hurt. Oh. Yo, you got my name right. Let's go. If anything, V also works. Also, there's a gunshot in the book on the bottom row. You notice anything up with that? Yeah. I've got it. I have issues with I have a foot doctor appointment because I have issues with my right foot. I can still walk from it. It hurts after a while. Oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that. I went to get a package from the front door, or from the front porch a month ago, or over a month ago. I think it was like end of July. And I have like a big, like heavy not heavy, but like an aluminum door that's been on the front of our house forever. And it kind of just smashed into the back of my foot. And there's just been constant pain down there in the back of my foot for like a month. And I think it's because I bruised the bone or something. I don't think it's broken, but there's definitely a bruise down there. And that's happened to me before. I've had issues where I've, like, bruised internally, and it's just hurt for a long time. It's okay. It doesn't hurt that bad. It's just when I walk for a long time, it kind of flares up. Again, I'm sorry that your foot got messed up, too. I hope it heals up. I hope all of our maladies here, or injuries, rather, heal up okay. It's just kind of a painful reminder that you're able-bodied until you aren't. And that's why fighting for disability rights is so important, because, truth be told, everyone is either one mistake or, natural aging away from being disabled. Hope your knee and hand feels better. Thank you. I appreciate that. This is clearly a contradiction here with this bullet hole. What do you mean, sir? You don't see? Quite simply, the bullet hole itself is too low. If the victim was shot in the stomach, the hole should be much higher up. Oh, I thought it was more that he got shot after the files were raided. Or beforehand. What if the guy was shot while he was sitting or lying down, sir? That would be illogical. The victim leaned against the shelf here after being shot, which suggests that he was standing when he was shot. And that means... Wait, what does that mean, sir? It means you need to use your brain every once in a while instead of mine, detective. In any case, it means someone made a faulty assumption. And it was from this mistake that our current contradiction was born. What is the faulty assumption that causes problem with the bullet hole's position? The position of the body, the position of the handprints, the order of the files. The handprints, maybe. The position of the handprints is what's causing this problem. We wouldn't be in this dilemma if the handprints were closer to the ground. But the handprints are where they are, up top. Yes, you are quite perceptive, which is why this is not a viable hypothesis. Oh, so that was just a what-if. Then what's the right answer? You still can't figure it out? Then allow me to explain. Yes, please, sir. Guess he didn't notice the slip-up. Although, at this point, I shouldn't be surprised. What's the faulty assumption that caused the problem with the bullet hole's position? Files. The files were higher up. I believe the order of the files is a bit off. You mean I put them back in the wrong order just now? Hey, actually, I think the labels on the files are wrong, sir. Oh? Yeah, you see here how the files that were shot begin with the number 0? What are those doing all the way down after 1, 2, and 3? That's really weird. Actually, the way they are organized now is the correct order. They're exactly as I see them in my mind's eye. But the numbers are all out of order. Those white binders are special, so they're arranged a little differently. Can you get some sleep and take care? Well, thank you, Shellshock. Thank you so much for coming by and for helping orchestrate the raids and such. I appreciate it. And the bits, too. Thank you. But from this, we know the files were not in this order when the crime occurred. Aha, so that's it. I believe the killer made the same incorrect assumption as you just did, Detective. Let's rearrange the files in numerical order and see what we find out. You think it'd be okay to prop the body back up to how it was before it was moved? They finished processing the crime scene, so I don't see why it wouldn't be. If you please, Detective Gumshoe. As I suspected, the bullet hole is now where it should logically be. The killer went through my files before shooting Mr. Faith. And then put the files back in numerical order, I guess. Exactly, and then proceeded to shoot the victim. But why would someone kill a man, then look through your files one more time? Puzzling indeed. The files were thrown into disarray twice, once before and once after the crime. But why? Now the crime scene was as it was at the time of the murder. Time to give it another look. Must be some reason as to why the victim's body was moved. But there's no time to ponder that now. Let us continue with our investigation, Detective. Roger that, sir. I'm raring to go. These handprints belong to the victim, right? They make sense with the body position. Yes, he must have left them when he was trying to support himself after he was shot. However, the final position of the body shows that it was moved. I need to go over this crime scene with a fine-toothed comb one more time. As I suspected, the bullet hole is now where it should logically be. And we figured out that the killer went through your bookshelf twice. Indeed, there are many things the killer did that don't make sense. But to figure this out, but to figure out the whys, we need more information. This. What is that? Why does it say Gumshoe there on there in blood? I'd say it's some incredibly incriminating evidence. Yes, indicative of criminal activity, indeed. No, wait, there's gotta be some mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me. Say something, sir. It appears that one of my files was stolen. Is that all, sir? What about me and my situation? Is this what the killer was really after? One of the files was written upon in blood was stolen by the culprit. Human Sona or Burb Sona? You know what? You could go Human Sona if you want. Investigation complete. Health refilled. Green tea it up. Looks like Jim was able to leave us the name of his killer in the end. And this most important message managed to reach us. I'm telling you, it wasn't me! You can't possibly be terribly pleased to hear that your beloved partner is the guilty party. If you're going to accuse Detective Gumshoe of being the culprit, I sincerely hope you have some proof to back it up. Jim's words, they're more than enough, wouldn't you say? If that's how you want to play this, if that's how you want to play it, then at least allow me to understand your reasoning. You got it. I don't like this one bit. There's something strange about this man's attitude. And there must be some sort of flaw to his logic waiting for me to dig out. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you going to do? What I always do in court. I'm going to cross-examine him. One way or another, I'll expose the flaw in his logic with this technique. Oh, how do you do that? Can you explain it to me, sir? Might as well. Alright, first, I listen to the witness's testimony. If I find a flaw in the testimony, something that contradicts the evidence, I open my organizer with R and present the piece of evidence of contradictory evidence. To present something, I simply use X, but that's old news. But it's not like there's going to be a flaw in their testimony every time, right? Correct, and at those times, I need to press the witness with L. Sometimes, by pressing, I could draw out new information or new or modified testimony. I think I get it, sir. I'll be sure to try this technique out during investigations, too. Very well, I'll even show you how it's done. Now watch carefully. Funny how Portsman was crying one time and now smug. I mean, here's the thing. You weren't here at the beginning. They show him committing the murder at the beginning. We know he's the one who shot Buddy. It's very standard Ace Attorney fare to show who the culprit is in the first case right away. So instead of testimony, we have argument. Mr. Portsman's logic. Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Why is this music so much lower than the other songs? Furthermore, you messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead. That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. But thanks to that, you didn't even notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. And it'll be by his final words that you will be brought to justice. You intend to argue the victim's dying message points to his killer. I can hear Jim's voice and he's calling for his killer's arrest. Are you sure you're not mishearing his words, Mr. Portsman? There's no way Detective Gumshoe is the culprit here. I will find the flaw in this man's logic and expose it with credible evidence. Rebuttal. So if you look back here, you can see it's like the other Ace Attorney games, which shows you which statement you're on. So this is pretty much just a cross-examination. This is exactly how cross-examinations work in the main series. It's just they make it like, you know, out of court. Actually, there is a gigantic flaw in his logic. Gap so wide that even the good detective can spot it. Gotta clue Mr. Portsman in by presenting him with some evidence. Stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Furthermore, you messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead. You moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. Thanks to that, you didn't even notice the bloody letters that his body was hiding. It'll be by his final words that you'll be brought to justice. Okay. Are there any fingerprints on it?
Hold it!
I didn't mean to do that, actually. That just happened by accident. Are you saying that those letters were intended for you? Yup, Jim was an outstanding detective. I would expect no less from my former partner. Looks like Mr. Portsman still doesn't understand. He has yet to figure out the true meaning behind the bloody letters. What are you sputtering over there? Can't you just admit that my logic is perfectly sound? In the early release footage for this game, people thought his name would be translated as Jacques Strap. Like Jock Strap. And they kept Jacques. They just changed the last name to Portsman. Because he's Jack Sportsman. What's the significance? Is this gumshoe? Is it actually not say? Wait, no, it's misspelled. There's no H. Oh, wait, no, there is an H. That looks like an S, though. Why would Gumshoe not have taken all the files with him?
Objection!
I must object to your line of logic. Which part do you have an objection to? It's... yes, well... Stay cool, Mr. Edgeworth. You're no good when you're all flustered. Detective's right, for a change. How did it come to this? Calm down, Miles. Listen carefully and think everything through a bit more rationally. Jack of all traits. That's a Dragon Quest pun. There's a town of, there's a town called, All Trades, and there's a character there named Jack. So he's Jack of all trades, and then he becomes possessed by a monster called Nun, N-U-U-N, and he becomes the Master of None. I don't know which Dragon Quest game that's from, but it's from one of them. Messed up the files to make it look like you committed theft. That's when you notice. That's when you move Jim's. Okay. Furthermore, you messed up the files. Well, then he would have messed up the letters too.
Objection!
What? Why is this still not working? Oh, it's from 11. Okay. I think it holds up rather well, actually. What do you think's wrong with it? Nothing. Let's move on. This isn't like you at all, sir. Concentrate. That was careless of me. I can't afford to do that on the shore. The truth will slowly slip away. Remain calm, Miles. It's the only way. That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. Oh, maybe because he didn't know he took the files missing, though.
Objection!
There we go. I got an achievement for getting it right. Perhaps you're not aware, Mr. Portsman, but there's a serious flaw in your logic. Bringing a bit of courtroom into this, I see. No problem. I'm game. Can't help but find it odd. Sorry, I'm checking something real quick here. Excuse me? Odd that a fellow prosecutor would be brought down by the power of his own office. What are you talking about? Oh, you're joking. I get it. If you have time to laugh, then you have time to take another closer look at this. Do you still not see? If not, may I direct your attention to the missing file? What? That's impossible! What's impossible, Mr. Portsman? Nothing. The files on that shelf are all about a certain case. Also, a great remix of Edgeworth's theme here. When the killer went to take the file there after murdering your partner, I highly doubt they could have missed the bloody letters written on the spines.
Objection!
Oh, he has his own objection. I forgot about that. It's possible they could have taken the file before committing the murder. I think it's pretty obvious the file was stolen after it was written on. The missing letters in the detective's name where the file should be is proof. Yeah, I mean the S is gone, there's only half an H. Detective Gumshoe really was the culprit of this case. I highly doubt that even he could overlook his own name written in blood on the files. Especially as a detective who can't stand the sight of blood. Which means, what exactly? What does that make this dying message? It makes it the work of a criminal intent on tampering with the crime scene. That's so low! I can't believe that criminal tried to pin this whole thing on me, sir! I'm gonna get him, sir! You'll see! I'm gonna have them under arrest in no time. Well, Mr. Portsman. Brilliant. Absolutely splendid. Logic deserving of Olympic gold. I appreciate the praise, but it doesn't change the fact that your reasoning is flawed. Meh, you win some, you lose some. That's how life goes. Not everyone's so cheery, even though I feel more dead than alive. Ah, but you know, it really is a shame. I really didn't want to have to bring this up. However... What is it this time? Are you still here? Are you still after me, pal? Don't think it's just a coinky-dink you're playing one of the games right now that you mention it. You know what I like from Dragon Quest XI? This monster. My friend told me about that one, and I'm like, oh, that's such a fun design for a monster. Humor me for a second. Who's the key to this office? That would be me. But Mr. Edgeworth just proved that I'm innocent, pal. Whoosh. That's absolutely right, and I acknowledge your innocence. One of these monsters is voice acted. She's adorable. Yeah, doesn't she have a lisp? Like, a purposeful one? Also, Robo Bunny, you've seen the Dragon Quest commission I've gotten in the past, right? It's like one of my most popular commissioned pieces. Or pieces that I commissioned, rather. Then why do I sense that you still have something to say? Yep. Good. Why are you doing that? Well, I was thinking. Do you know there's one other person with a key to this office? One other person? Hey, you there. Yes, sir. What is it, sir? Would you kindly fetch and escort that lovely young lady here for me? A lady? This girl's a member of this building's security. Think of her as a material witness. Security? Did you say security? No, stop it, pal, don't! Uh-oh, if Gumshoe is reacting that way, I think I know who this person's gonna be. What's wrong with him all of a sudden? I believe she needs no introduction. I've called upon Miss Maggie Bird, a member of the security. Detective Gumshoe, sir. Maggie? Miss Bird's a security guard on watch tonight. I see, and your point is? My point is that she could very well have used it. And by it, I mean the master key. And by it, I mean my peen. And by she was straight up jorking it. And by it, I mean my peanuts. The shirt, yeah. She's always got the best in Blue Badger fashion. And by it, I mean the master key, which can open the office, any of the. And by it, I mean the master key, which can open all the office doors in this building. What? You're not the guilty party, Detective Gumshoe. The only other person with access to this room is Miss Bird. How dare you? I would never sneak into someone's room. That's right, I refuse to believe that Maggie's the culprit, pal. It was me. That's right, I did it. Can we take this as a confession, Detective? Well, it wasn't really me, but it definitely wasn't Maggie, pal. So yeah, it was me. If it was, you'd have no problems with that, right? Please refrain from flying off the handle, Detective. There's no need for such theatrics. Listen to your boss, Detective. He understands what I'm saying here. That girl is the only one who could have committed the crime. And for one simple reason. Reason for suspicion. It's pretty obvious that Miss Bird snuck into your room using the master key. I mean, if Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door, then that leaves only Miss Bird as our prime suspect. On top of which, she knows our good detective, doesn't she? Making it all the more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message. So you're saying she used the master key. This can open every office door. Its use is controlled by security staff. Incredibly incriminating evidence, wouldn't you say? That's what you claimed about the evidence earlier as well. That was then, this is now. The flow of a good match always changes during a rally. It's all about your reflexes and reaction time, especially for an athlete like me. Wonder if there was anyone else other than Miss Bird who could have used the master key. Seems the only way to get Mr. Portsman to give me more details is to press him. Press. Key. Ha! Rebuttal. So yeah, it's interesting that Maggie shows up here, because, like, timeline-wise, it's only been, like, 4 months since she stopped working at Très Bien, or since that case happened. Actually, the case happened in January. Like, the case that Phoenix takes part in is in January. So this is only 2 months after the case where she was framed for poisoning, what's his name? Glenn Elg. And now she's working security after she quit the force. So she left the force to become a waitress to then come back and work security at the prosecutor's office. It's a full circle situation. Pretty obvious that Miss Bird snuck in your room using the master key.
Hold it!
Hold it! Are you sure Miss Bird is the only member of security who could have used that master key? There's only one person on staff at this time of night, and tonight she's it. Isn't that right, Miss Bird? That's, true, but I wasn't able to use the master key at the time of the crime, sir. Wasn't able to? What was that supposed to mean? Yes, moving on. Hate to get sidetracked by something unrelated. What do you mean unrelated? I want to hear what she has to say, pal. But you can't really trust her to not just tell lies. Plus, I hate wasting time. Should I hear Miss Bird out? Yes, obviously. This isn't court. I'm not going to be held in contempt for asking her to say more. Not so fast. I, too, am interested in hearing what Miss Bird has to say. Didn't I just say it'd be a waste of time? We don't need to hear her lies. I'll be the judge of that. Miss Bird, if you please. I discovered that the master key was missing at around 1 a.m., sir. What do you mean by missing? It wasn't, as in, it wasn't anywhere in the security booth, sir. The killer must have stolen it. Mr. Portsman, I believe this to be an important piece of testimony, don't you? I can't believe that someone like you would be taken in by such words. I'm not lying, sir.
Objection!
If that's the case, I'd like to know why you have the master key now. I don't quite know. It just reappeared all of a sudden, sir. Ha, a likely story. Where's your proof that the key was stolen to begin with? Bet you just forgot where you put it and then found it again. Her design in this is very cute. Yeah, her design's always cute, though. But I will say, not having her in the police uniform is really good. When she first appeared, I straight up said her hoodie, her, like, sleeveless Blue Badger hoodie, was, like, the coolest thing ever, and I wanted one. I never lose things. I can practically guarantee that. With me, if something disappears, it's usually because someone stole it. Yeah, pal, trust me, you don't want to test just how bad her luck is. Unfortunately, I can't deem this piece of testimony as conclusive. Glad you agree, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, but... Still haven't established Maggie's motive for breaking into Mr. Edgeworth's office. Her motive? Didn't we already establish it was theft? I mean, the culprit clearly went through the bookshelves and at least tried the safe. This is if Mr. Portsman says, Detective. Can't ignore the fact that all the evidence points towards a motive of theft. But I'm done taking blows. It's time to counteract with a few facts of my own.
Hold it!
I concur that the culprit's motives appear to have been thievery. However, glad to hear that Great Miles Edgeworth is in agreement with little old me. With regard to the investigation of the bookshelves and the safe. Hey, good thinking asking for my opinion on the matter. It'd be too much for you to... oh, God. Would it be too much for you to allow me to complete a full sentence?
Hold it!
I thought we had established Detective Gumshoe's innocence pretty thoroughly. It was just a theory, one hypothesis among many possibilities. I mean, I had my doubts about Miss Bird from the very beginning. If that's the case, why didn't you mention her first? Now, don't make that face. See, there goes the truth running the other way. Let's pick up the pace and see if we can't catch up to it. I don't think you're catching up to my drift. But we are in agreement that the detective isn't the killer, right? If so, then I hope you'll understand when I say... that since she's the only one who could have opened your office door... that leaves Miss Bird as our only prime subject. I think it's a bit early to be jumping to conclusions. Are you saying there's another way to open that door than with the master key? Oh, I get it. Perhaps you had a spare made for someone else? I'll have you know I have never made a spare, so what are you insinuating? Nothing. Guess I should have known better than to suggest that someone like you would.
Hold it!
Is there anyone in this district who hasn't at least heard of Detective Gumshoe? Good point. He's practically a celebrity among us prosecutors. Wait a minute, he said the word. He said the phrase. Hold on. Especially relevant with this game, because there's an official Edgeworth skin in Among Us now. And the Among Us account has been having a lot of fun posting memes with it. Really? Never knew I was so talked about, sir. We're holding our collective breath, you know. For when you screw up so badly that you're literally chased off the force. Wait, what? Is that true, Mr. Edgeworth? Of course not. That's hogwash. Phew, don't scare me like that. I almost had a heart attack there. Bird. Thank you. Although you can Bean Edgeworth wear a Jeff Keighley mask. Oh, God. Make it all the more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message.
Hold it!
Going very slow. By dying message, you mean the bloody letters that spell out Gumshoe? Figure that whoever wrote his name must have wanted to frame him. And just the act of choosing his name is proof enough that the two knew each other well. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and present some evidence. I would love to, but first we should listen a bit more and digest what he's saying. And press him for more information.
Hold it!
Are you sure Miss Bird was the only member of security who could have used the master key? Only one person on staff at this time of night, and tonight she's it. Isn't that right, Miss Bird? That sounds true, but... I wasn't able to use the master key at the time of the crime, sir. I wasn't able to? What's that supposed to mean? I discovered that the master key was missing around 1 a.m., sir. What do you mean by missing? This is the same dialogue, but I can't skip it.
Objection!
The fact that all this evidence points to a motive of theft. But I'm done taking blows, time to counteract with a few facts of my own.
Hold it!
Maybe it's one of those cases where I have to press everything until something changes.
Hold it! Hold it!
I don't know what I'm supposed to press him for.
Hold it! Objection!
Maybe I already have the evidence I need. Also, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little tired. That's why it's kind of slowing down here. Wipe down safe. Oh, wait a minute. How would he know about the safe? Or I guess he would know about the safe, but how would Maggie know about the safe?
Objection!
There we go. Now we're on the right path. Now it's big brain time. It's actually easier to read because the green is on the text box now. Do you wish to continue insisting that Miss Bird was stealing something? Woof. Why not? It's the truth after all. It was also by your logic that we came to the whole thievery conclusion anyway. That may be, but you also must be aware of the fact that the safe is a secret safe. The existence of which is only privy to prosecutors. I find it a little hard to believe that a hidden safe was part of her cunning plan. But she could have found it by accident while she was turning everything else upside down. Highly doubt that. I'd say the culprit knew exactly what they were looking for. After all, when the bookshelf and the safe were targeted. Yeah, even I didn't know about that safe, pal. And that means there's no way Maggie could have known about it either. Then are you proposing that the killer is a prosecutor? Interesting conclusion. That's definitely looking more and more probable. What's wrong, prosecutor? Do you have a different suspect in mind now? Curses. Why? What made you? What's with the angry face all of a sudden? It's all my fault. What do you mean? It's Jim. He knew all about the existence of the secret safe. What did you just say? We were partners, like inseparable conjoined twins. That's why I told him. I filled him in on the secret safes. And that means... Yeah, I know. I only just told him, too. Obviously, it was wrong of me to tell him. Appreciate the anime figure on Edgeworth's desk. Yes, he loves the Steel Samurai. Hey, Izzy. Still can't quite believe it, but the thief who broke into your room was probably Jim. Now he's claiming that the victim was the thief? And you were simply trying to stop him, weren't you, Miss Maggie Bird? Excuse me?
One sec.
Edge, you need to clean up more. Also, that pile of dirty dishes by the window. Yeah. That wasn't him that did all that, but he does need to clean up. I mean, it's your job, but killing is going a bit too far, even in your risky profession. What the? You're still accusing Maggie of the murder? Yes and no. I mean, she'd stumbled upon Jim, who'd probably drawn out his gun. I get it. It was self-defense, wasn't it? No, I couldn't. I could never do something like that. Not even as a security guard, sir. Plus, even if he was the thief, he wouldn't have had the key to this office. Which is precisely why he had to steal it, wouldn't you say? It was Jim who stole the God damn. It was Jim who stole the master key. Pretty impossible for a supposed stolen key to be here with us, unless you retrieved it from Jim after you killed him. Mr. Portsman, are you honestly accusing your own partner of being a thief? I don't want to admit to it, but yes, it's the only way for everything else to make sense. Has he no honor? Now then, I think we're done here. The investigation waits for no man. Would you people be so kind as to see yourselves out? Can't kick us out. This is Mr. Edgeworth's office. But I'm the one who's been assigned to this case. You're all suspects to varying degrees, and therefore ineligible to run this show. Listen, pal, how many times do I have to say this? Maggie can't be the culprit. Detective Gumshoe, calm yourself. But sir... We have no choice but to accommodate his request, for now. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. At least one of you understands. Now then, if you could remove yourselves from my crime scene, I'd be most grateful. Mark my words, Mr. Portsman, we will meet again. That's a formal request from the legendary prosecutor himself, then I suppose so. Now don't disappoint me, you hear? I'm falling into, like, dazed off mode. To be continued. March 14th, 4:18 a.m. Prosecutor's Building, 12th floor hallway. What is with that prosecutor? Can't believe how rude he was. It was unbelievable. Yeah, I'm sorry I stopped between every line just a couple seconds ago. That happened to me when I was doing the 5th case of the first game back a year ago. I was sick and I was like dozing off during the Jake Marshall talk thing. Please maintain your professionalism, detective. I'm gonna find some real solid evidence proving Maggie's innocence. You'll see, sir. We've been kicked out of the crime scene, sir. True. So then, now what? Looks like my life's fallen into yet another gigantic ditch. Do not despair, Miss Bird. We can overcome this as well. There are many other places and things we should be looking into anyway. Really, sir? For example, this hallway. The linchpin of this argument against Miss Bird is related to the master key. In that case, this hallway is the perfect place to look for more information regarding the mystery surrounding my door. Begin the investigation. Detective Gumshoe, you look rather intrigued by something. Care to share? Oh, it's nothing, but I noticed that Mr. Portsman calls his partner Jim. And the detective in that Sunday night drama, All My Cops, is named Jim, too. That one is a big fan of that show. Seem to know a little something about it yourself. I take it you watch it, too? Of course, the tight bond of friendship between the prosecutor and detective is great, sir. But it's nothing compared to the super strong friendship we have. Friendship, detective? I think you're mistaking it with pity. How could you say that, sir? And after all we've been through, too. Friendship or pity awarded. I should look and see what the achievements are, because I don't want to miss them if I can get them. Then again, this game does have chapter select, so it's pretty easy to go back to a specific point. It's a good point. It's a good place to take a short break. Oh, look! The title screen is different depending on where you are. That's cool. Corrective evidence during rebuttal. Sexually making a connection during logic. Playing the game with HD chibi characters. Listen to Gumshoe talk in the hallway about where he thinks Jim came from in AI Episode 1. So all these are for completing the stages. Okay. Mine Chest, that's the next game. Seeing a familiar face in the distance. Okay, these are... I know what those two are. I forget this game has many joke responses, but I remember the original trilogy had a couple achievements you could if you had one of those, yeah. Look at the true nature of step ladders. That requires episode 5 and 3 of this game. Two things in episode 2. 3, 4, 5. Okay, so no, there's nothing else related to this chapter. Except actually beating the chapter. We'll look at the special stuff some other time. There's a decent amount of it. That night looked like my heart beating. It was like overlaid over my chest. About Miss Bird. No way she's the killer. Please don't tell me you buy into that accusation, sir. Rest assured, I think she's innocent. However, I need to ask her a few things regarding the security guard position. Well, if you're only asking, that's okay. Just stand next to her and then press A. Then you two could talk about whatever topic you pick. When you want to ask her about evidence, all you have to do is present it to her with X. After you choose what to show her, press X again and off you two go. Recommend showing different people different things. Be surprised by what they say. Thank you for the explanation, though I don't recall asking for one. Oh, just you know, sir. You could show me evidence in the same way, too. I believe it's time to get down to business and ask some questions of Miss Bird. Ignored again. Oh. I won't rest until I've inspected every Okay. 1202. Those 4 numbers on the plate alone proclaim this to be my office. Whoops, hey, these number plates slide right out, sir. You have to be able to take off the plate when the room becomes vacant, you know? Although, the idea that it can be so easily removed is kind of... I don't see any signs of forced entry. According to the guard, no signs of the lock was picked either, sir. Meaning the door really was opened with the key. Did you happen to ask if any prints were lifted from the doorknob? Apparently the doorknob's clean as a whistle. Wiped, they think. Whoever this thief is, they did a good job of not leaving any clues behind. Minimalistic, classy door made of top-quality wood. It's sturdily made, making it nearly impossible to break in by force. It's almost majestic, sir. Wish I could be as stately as this door. Only Gumshoe would praise a door as something greater than himself. Being a detective has its own rewards and a certain virtuous value, I think. If you live up to your full potential, that's a poignant trait that anyone can admire. I see. So you're saying, sir, that me being me is the best I could do. That me being me is the best thing I could do for everyone? Right. That long pause wasn't exactly reassuring, sir. Is there anything else here? Yeah, I think we're done. Pretty sure Gumshoe just having enough awareness to pick up on distressing social cues, yeah. Well-crafted, high-quality sofa for visitors. Stitching is excellent. Talk about a luxury waiting area. These babies are also great for napping, you know? You would sleep even out here, detective, in a hallway. Whenever I do, I always wind up dreaming about giving testimony up on the stand. But it always ends the same way, me getting trounced by a lawyer. Isn't that awful? Maybe I should give it a try sometime, to envision myself winning, naturally. It's... isn't that missing Zero series file, sir? No doubt about it. The bloody letters mark it clear as day. There seemed to be a few pages missing. Our thief took only what was necessary and left the rest behind. So what are these O files about, sir? I guess they've got something worth stealing in them. I've got something worth stealing in them, huh? I can remember whose voice is who. Not particularly, it's just a collection of court case files. However, cases within these files are not mine. Huh? They belong to the High Prosecutor that used to occupy my current office. I have my reasons, but let's just say I was charged with keeping them as they were. And that means the thief must also wanted the file for a specific reason, right? It would seem so. Only the pages related to the case from 10 years ago are missing. I don't know why anyone would care about such an old case. But the thief's not under here. Guess there isn't enough space for anyone to hide under here anyway. I mean, if someone could contort themselves to fit, I'd be really impressed. Sounds to me like somebody's already tried at least once before. Gotta remember, if it's yellow at all, then I gotta click it. If it's tangy and yellow, you got juice there, fella. If it's mellow and brown, you're in Cider Town. What's a basketball doing here? That's Mr. Portsman's prized possession, sir. Heard he also plays soccer, dodgeball, and even tennis. Not a single one of those sports is suitable to be played in a hallway. This office. 1203. Hey, Maggie, whose room is this again? It's Mr. Portsman, sir. So he's my new neighbor, I see. Suppose he moved in while I was away overseas. I wonder if I may speak with you for a bit concerning this case. I've always been a big fan of the courtroom, but this is like a dream where I'm being cross-examined by the Miles Edgeworth. Look how happy she is. I love the scribble effect on her eyes. You finished it? That's not it. I'm looking at someone else's chat there. Karma, that looks amazing. But okay, that is really good. But I do have a piece of criticism. I'm going to type it in the chat because I don't want to say it out loud. What do you mean, sorry for taking so long? You literally asked me at the beginning of the stream if you wanted to draw it. You're not taking long. The fact that you're able to draw that well, that quickly, is really good. I want to see what you could do if you take longer on pieces. Like, take a day or two to work on something. I want to see how good it turns out. Also, I'm grabbing my... I don't usually use this, but I'm grabbing my cushion for my seat. Because, I'm getting... I'm you know, I'm not going to go into detail, but let's just say after I scrape my leg, I kind of need some extra elevation here. It's a little uncomfortable. It's like a dream where I'm being cross-examined by the Miles Edgeworth. The great Saiyaman! Can't let this chance pass me by. I must remember to ask her about the Master Key. To jog her memory by showing my notes to her with X. Yes, please, Karma. Oh my god, what the friggin' bots tonight? Why is this one being monitored while the other one was a harasser? Stop. I wish Twitch would just stop showing those whenever they post those links. I've never met the victim before. Well, I've seen him a couple times before when I had to go to Mr. Portsman's office. Mr. Faith was always playing basketball with him, sir. That sounds like fun. Just once I would have loved to play with them. It sounds fun, but the only person ever taking a shot was Mr. Portsman. All Mr. Faith ever did was pass him the ball, sir. Pass the ball to Tucker. On second thought, I don't think I would have fit in all that well with them. It's Maggie Bird, correct? I take it you're an acquaintance of the detective. She was under my supervision back when she was still in the force, sir. One day she got caught up in a murder and things started going downhill, so she quit. Alright, Edgeworth probably wouldn't know about that. He wasn't around when that case happened. In fact, come to think of it, he wasn't around either of the cases that happened like that. So this is his first time meeting Maggie. But I owe a lot to Detective Gumshoe for introducing me to my current employer. Or so I thought until a few hours ago. Before I was about to clock out for the night. You got caught up in this whirlwind of a case, correct? Don't worry, my whole life has been nothing but bad luck. A whirlwind of bad luck. And failures. Since I was 6 months old when I fell from the 9th floor of my apartment building, I've been hit by all sorts of vehicles, gotten sick from all sorts of foods, failed at almost every test I've ever taken, experienced almost every kind of disaster, and now I even managed to be named a criminal just when I become a security guard. That's a lot to go through in one lifetime. I know, and just when I thought I had finally found my happiness, I wind up getting you and Detective Gumshoe involved in my bad luck. It's just like when that guy in blue, when that man defended me in court. You don't need to worry about me, Miss Bird. Nor do you need to worry about yourself. Nor do you need to worry about yourself. I will solve this case and prove your innocence. All I ask in return is for your cooperation. Yes, sir, Mr. Edgeworth. You can count on me. I'll do all I can to help. That's a prosecutor's badge, isn't it? Proves that you're really a prosecutor. Interesting. Despite all appearances, she seems to know more than Gumshoe. With that badge, even I could be a professional prosecutor. Sir, may I please try that on, just for a little bit? I don't think that would be a very good idea, do you? Do you? I guess not. On second thought, they're actually on the same level. Just a lowly security guard, so I'm not sure what I should do with that, other than to guard it. It's like talking to another Gumshoe. there a way to disable links in chat? VIPs would probably be able to bypass that option. True. You know what? But here's the thing, well, count the... I guess it does show up as a link. Okay, if I'm gonna do that, first of all... First of all, Izzy's been here long enough that she absolutely deserves VIP. I always do this because, like, you know, we got a lot of raids tonight. In the off chance we ever get, like, a big raid, people are going to get lost in the sauce here when there's a lot of people talking. So having people I know just automatically be VIPs makes it way easier. Stream moderation. I should probably pause the game if I'm going to do this. Pause the recording if I'm going to do this. Okay, I think we're solid here. We've blocked hyperlinks from anyone other than VIPs. We've made sure the VIPs can send the links. And we now have our own crouton in the corner there to admire. Let me phase back in as a ghost here. Yes, crouton, keep crouton alive. Crunchy, what's this? What's this? Oh no, we're gonna do links now. VTuber Legend, how I went viral after forgetting to turn off my stream. That's an anime? Good old fresh crouton, yeah. Okay. So when did you discover the master key was missing? By the time I realized it, I think it was around 1 AM, sir. And I noticed it was back around 2 AM. I was just sitting there on the ledge where the security room's reception window is. Why would you leave it there? And I'm sure that between those 2 times, it was not just gone, but stolen, sir. Whoop! Why is such an important key stored in such an insecure place? Yeah, exactly. It's not like that, sir. We always keep the key further inside the room, away from the window. Always, you say, except for this time, correct? Well, I admit that I was a bit careless, but I had my reasons. Left it out because I was sort of using it at the time. It was after I'd used it that I'd left it sitting out on the ledge. Just used the master key. Been watching it, just want to see if it posted the link right, yeah. What did you post? That you're posting a kappa afterwards. What is this YouTube link? Oh. It's been a while since we've heard this one.
Give me a break.
Remember when I said I was going to do a high-quality version of that, and I never did it? Okay. I never did it. I have all the files to do it, but I never made it. You know what? Pester me about it this weekend, and I'll try to make it when I have some time. What did you mean by use the master key? Oh, I had to use it to open the door for this prosecutor who had forgotten his key. I mean, it's my job as a security guard, right? Ah, what is it? That's right, I just remembered. The prosecutor who forgot his key. It was Mr. Portsman, sir. What? Please tell me more, Miss Bird, quickly. In a second, actually. Gotta change the board, too. That's gonna take a lot more work at this point. Everything all right? Yes, sir. If you must know, I weighed myself this morning and I'm finally at 154 pounds. Congratulations, but I was asking about this hallway in this room. Oh, everything's okay, sir. Word of advice, stay focused or you may start to lose even more weight. What is a basketball hoop doing here? Hey, didn't this used to just be outside next to a building a long time ago? So when and why was it moved indoors? I don't remember exactly when, but I saw one of the officers drag it up here recently. Drag it? I heard it wouldn't fit in the elevator, so the poor guy had to bring it up himself. All the way up to the 12th floor? It looks like you're in quite the pinch, Mr. Edgeworth. To be sure, a murder within the walls of the prosecutor's office is no trifling matter. You must find, apprehend, and punish the killer accordingly, post-haste. Sounds like a messy case you've got on your hands. If you ever feel lost or need some advice, my door is always open. How gracious. I will keep your offer in mind. Who is this guy again? He has more hair here than he does in court. Womp womp, yeah. Just wanted to show off. That's a fun cameo. There's a couple character cameos that show up. The second game has a really fun cameo from a character from a past game, and it's one you would never expect. His hairline improves with his proximity away from the courtroom, yeah. Alright, we gotta ask her about the thing here. Womp womp. Forgetful Mr. Portsman. Oh, forgetful Mr. Portsman. Karma, that is way better, thank you. That I could see putting in on the stream. I could absolutely see using that as my humans. It does look like me. I mean, that's how people draw me. Hold on, let's show that off. Again, sorry I'm derailing I'm sorry I'm derailing the stream so hard. That's really good. I can get behind that. I like that you kept the Magatama there. You know, I actually have a big Magatama like this. I have a glow-in-the-dark costume Magatama that looks like that. You know what? If I do this, I might flip this and put it on the other side of the screen. Like, I might mirror it. That's pretty good, thank you. I mean, it's really good. You're amazing at this. Redrew the pants, yeah. Nice. That is how I usually get drawn as a human in art. It's your stream, you can do whatever you like. I know, but it's just also, like, I upload these VODs for people on YouTube to watch. And, they sometimes get views. Most of the time they don't. And I always feel bad if I derail the stream so hard that, like, people are gonna be watching for something and then not get it. Also the hat. Yes, the hat is really good. I actually have a Chocobo hat that's kind of like that. Without the stalks, obviously, because that's me, not the Chocobo. It was around 12 a.m. Mr. Portsman had forgotten his office key, so he came down to security, sir. Also, not for nothing, but again, you drew that in like an hour and a half. That and the other frame. I can't imagine how good you would draw if you take, like, how much even better you'd be if you do something like longer term, like something that takes longer to get done. In fact, I'm gonna test myself on that soon because I'm doing my 100th daily sketch. So I need to draw something good for it. So I'm gonna try something bigger. And that's when you loan the master key to him. No way, it's against regulations to loan the master key out to anyone. I walked with Mr. Portsman to his office and opened the door for him, personally, sir. I see. And then what happened after that? Well, he called for me to come close up his office as he was leaving to go home. That was around 1:30 a.m., I think. So in summary, for the sake of one forgetful prosecutor, you used the master key twice tonight. Talk about suspicious. I doubt you could say that you've never left your keys at home, detective. This calls for a thorough examination of Mr. Portsman's door. Oh wait, I won't be able to flip it and put it on the other side of the screen, because then I have to move the entire PNG tuber over there. Maybe there's a way I can make it work. Room 1203. I take it this is Mr. Portsman's office. Yeah, you can't mistake it because of that basketball hoop, sir. Oh, that reminds me. Mr. Portsman had actually wanted room 1202 really badly. But since you were already occupying it, Mr. Edgeworth, we put him next door, sir. Why was Mr. Portsman so particular about getting room 1202? Not sure, but I bet it's because of something like his birthday is December 2nd or something? Yep, that's gotta be it. Can't think of another reason why. I can think of at least 3. Ugh, why am I even wasting time thinking about this? Minimalistic, classy door made of top-quality wood. Kind of majestic, too. Fits in really well with the ambience of the prosecutor's office. Even Mr. Portsman seems dignified just because he works behind one of these. Nonsense. A man doesn't become more or less dignified because of where he works. Well, he still seems more dignified than Mr. Payne. Mr. Payne? I suppose custodial work can also be dignified? I guess because Edgeworth didn't call him Prosecutor Payne, Edgeworth just... or Gumshoe didn't call him that. Edgeworth just assumed he was a custodian. The door's locked tight. Let's see how well this looks with transparency on. I mean, it's a lot of yellow. It's gonna block the colors pretty well. But the old credit card trick wouldn't work here, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? This is the office of the High Prosecutor Detective. These doors would be pretty ineffective if the average cat burglar could get through them. Cat burglar, though? What was that? Aha, so I guess only a great cat burglar could get in. That must be who our culprit is. Might I advise you to return that conclusion to whatever pawn shop you brought it from? Am I missing something here? Mr. Portsman's personal basketball hoop. Can't believe you put something like this in the hallway of our prosecutor's office. But you know, it's actually pretty useful, sir. I haven't gotten lost trying to get to your office since it's been here. How long have I had the same office, and yet you still managed to get lost? Oh, I can't do the thing here. Man has become more or less dignified because of where he works. Unless you're Mr. Payne, you're always undignified there. Yeah, exactly. You know what? The movement in this game, like, okay. Like, I'm pressing right now, and I'm, like, barely tilting it up and down, and he's scattering all over the place. It might be easier just to use the D-pad and B button to run, because I'm just running too far. Oh. Might be time for some good old logic here. Files in disarray, another handgun, master key was stolen. Use the master key. Key was used to unlock Portsman's office at 12 a.m. and 1:30 a.m. He went missing from 1 a.m. till approximately 2 a.m. Let's do it! Yeah! Got him. Edgeworth does the BBC Sherlock Mind Palace thing, yeah. Because they didn't want to give him a wacky ability, so they had to have him do, like, mind bullshit. But to be fair, in the second game, they at least make his mind bullshit a fun power. In the form of mind chess, which, again, really funny that they changed it from logic chess, which sounds cool, to mind chess, which just sounds campy as fuck, which I love. I love that they did that, but it's still funny. Miss Bird, I'm afraid there's a flaw in your story. What? No, wait, pal. I mean, sir. Aw, Gumshoe's rubbing off on her. You said that you locked up Mr. Portsman's office at around 1:30 a.m., correct? However, the master key had already been stolen at that time. Wow, nothing gets by you, Mr. Edgeworth. You saw that contradiction like a pro. Totally forgotten all about that, but thanks to you, I remember it now. You're right, it was around that very time that I realized the master key was missing. And? Well, I'm a security guard, sir. Couldn't just admit to losing the master key, could I? So I pretended to lock up his room, sir. You pretended? Yeah, I used my house key and made it look like I was locking up, sir. So in actuality, you never did relock the door, then? Well, I thought that maybe I could go lock it after I found the key. Come to think of it, I guess the door still hasn't been locked properly. Mind chess, what Edgeworth would I canonically call it. Just how old and classy he is, I guess. Wait, so the door is locked, though. It is locked tight. Interesting. I wonder who locked it. Oh, I could deduce it now. Okay.
Eureka!
God, that voice clip sounds so forced. It's so weird. Like, the hold it and take that were used in Ace Attorney 3, but the Eureka clip is brand new to this game. And it just sounds so weirdly forced, like someone trying to do like an old man voice almost. Ugh, just gotta look under my bandage. It's moist. I should probably clean it a bit later on when I stop, which will be in 30 minutes. There's a contradiction here between reality and the evidence. You're an old man, Michael? Yeah, I am. I'm 37. But if you put the candles backwards on my cake, I'm 73. If what Miss Bird has said is true, then why is this door locked tight? Huh? You know, you're right. Miss Bird, are you sure you didn't relock this door? I'm certain of it, sir. And I don't think Mr. Portsman noticed it himself that I hadn't. Which means, what, sir? Either means that he actually does have the key to his office, or that the door Miss Bird opened wasn't this one at all, but a completely different one. She opened a different door? But how can you prove that? There's an easy way to find out. All we need to do is... we need to examine these. Prints on the master key, prints on the doorknob, prints on the number plate. Prints on the number plate. The prints on the number plate. They will tell us all we need to know. Everything? Really? Like what, sir? Like, well, for example, and such as... well, we know for sure that Detective Gumshoe's dinner will only consist of instant noodles. What? Wow, that was amazing, sir. How did you know? It's supposed to be a joke to cheer me up, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, that's it. Now then, shall we get back to doing what we need to do, and that is... we need to examine these. The prints on the doorknob. To be fair, I think I'm on the right track with the numbers. I think it's just too early. The prints on the doorknob will tell us everything. Hey, you, pal. Do us a favor and see what you can lift from this, okay? So, what'd you find out? There's no need for such belligerent nostril-flaring, Detective. Sir, I found only Mr. Portsman and Mr. Fate's prints on this doorknob. There's only 2 people's prints were found on this, huh? That's pretty decisive. Huh? I'm lost, sir. Thinking logically, a certain other person's print should be on this doorknob as well. Now then, whose print should also be on this doorknob? Gumshoe knows her from when she was a police officer, now works as nighttime security.
Take that!
Don't you find it odd that the prints of the person who unlocked this door are absent? You mean... yes, the door that Miss Bird opened could not have been this one, but a different one. What have we here? Yeah, you're gonna be seeing that line pop up a lot. By the way, if you're interested in seeing all of the wrong answers in every Ace Attorney case, Ephraim 225 has a video series of that. What's this arrow here mean? Oh, maybe it's because B lets me back out? Or not, I don't know. I'll think of interest here. Investigations is next if you continue with that, yeah. You just finished the Spirit of Justice ones. Is this basketball property of Mr. Portsman? Yes, sir. He's always ready for a match. Basketball, soccer, dodgeball, tennis. Doesn't matter what sport it is. He's game. Though I think it'd be a little hard to play tennis with this ball. That isn't the point you should be focusing on, Detective. You're right, sir. Now I know what I should be focusing on. Bad, Mr. Portsman. Someone should teach him to clean up his toys after he's done playing. I think we've reached the end of this conversation. What's this? What are you looking at, sir? Oh, hey, how about a game? That's okay, Detective. I just found the position of this hoop to be a little off. Hey, you're right, sir. Guess it shifted when someone made a seriously sweet slam dunk. The positioning of the hoop is definitely unnatural. I better take note of this. There have been signs that it's been moved. What is this? It's like a scrap of paper. I'll get it, sir. Let's see. Oh, there's something written on it. I brought the 3 pieces of evidence by, just like we talked about on the phone, but it looks like you're out. Guess I'll catch up to you later, buddy. Looks like a note from the victim. Yeah, and it's for Mr. Portsman. Investigation complete. Booby traps. Poking around this hallway has actually paid off quite handsomely. Huh? How so, sir? In a variety of different ways. I think it's time we had a little chat with the real culprit of this case. You know who the killer is? Wow, Mr. Edgeworth. As long as my logic is sound, then yes. The mastermind behind this murder is none other than Mr. Portsman. What? Mr. Portsman? I knew it. That's exactly what my logic senses were telling me, too. I suspect it was him from the instant he accused Maggie of being the killer, sir. That is anything but logical. Lady and gentlemen, prepare yourselves. Come what it may, it's time to knock on truth's door. Truth wasn't home. March 14th, 5:12 a.m. The sun should be coming up at this point. High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. Mr. Portsman, I finished processing the bloody letters, sir. Alright, let me take a gander at it. Pass it here. Okay, looking good. You there, take good care of this. Whoa! He just walks to the left, like, slowly. Well, if it isn't Detective Gumshoe. End the line for you, Portsman. We got you now. Call off your dog, Mr. Edgeworth. Is this some kind of joke? It's no joke. We know, Mr. Jacques Portsman, that you are the guilty party in this case. You must be pretty upset getting chased out of your own room. I'd be mad too. So I guess you could stay, if you promise to stay out of our way. You intend to hide your crime under the guise of a prosecutor doing his job? I could see right through your unsightly paper-thin mask you wear upon your cowl. Who would have ever thought it would come to this? Oh god, he's Emio, the smiling man. He's wearing a paper-thin mask. I still need to finish that. I'm up to chapter 11. Actually, come to think of it, your mentor was Manfred von Karma, right? The legendary prosecutor who never lost a single case for 40 long years? But there was always this incessant chatter about forged evidence with that guy. Really teaches me that I gotta stay on the lookout for false accusations, you know? Are you done trying to play mind games with me? Because they won't work. The only thing you should be using is that mouth of yours for now is for explaining yourself. Or, you know, standing and delivering, but that's up to you. I'm down for it. Maybe I'll overlook this crime if you do. Although that too will only dig your hole deeper. Either way, your game is up. Well, aren't we full of ourselves, even though you have yet to prove anything? Mr. Portsman's rebuttal. Well, now it says testimony. I have no idea what sort of harebrained idea you have in mind, but there's a mountain of evidence that points away from me being the culprit. Besides, how, may I ask, do you propose I unlocked your door and got in here? Look, I feel bad for doing this to you, but I've got work to do, so we're done here. Sorry, but we're not finished yet. Boy, you're stubborn. Suppose you're basing your accusations on something? I'll show you what I'm basing my accusations on, with evidence. Rebuttal. Alright, I'm gonna turn I'm gonna turn text skip on and see if I don't accidentally skip through stuff. Okay, I can A press too. Because like B pressing is... Oh wait, no, here it goes back and forth. Never mind. We'll do it in a normal conversation. And besides, how many of us proposed to unlock the door and got in here?
Hold it!
Unfortunately, I believe I've already shown how earlier. Okay, that makes the text do that. Your speculations mean nothing, as I still insist that I could not gain access to your room. What should I do now? Should I raise an objection? Okay, yeah, holding down A doesn't speed it. You claim you have no way to open my door. However, is that really the honest truth? Alright, oh Yumi, go ahead, shoot. I'm gonna skip like the next 2 lines just to... Okay. Alright, well then I propose this is what you used to open my door.
Take that!
I believe you were able to open my office door with the master key, no less.
Objection!
Okay, so holding down B still skips, but holding down A will not, so I can keep text skip on and make the text appear a little quicker. I believe you were able to open my door with this, no less. Wait, hold on for a second. I never laid a finger on that key, as you already know. Precisely. You were able to open my door without lifting a single finger. Well, maybe you did, but only to direct. That's right. You used your finger to direct this person to open my door with the key.
Take that!
You would ask Miss Bird to open your own office door for you, yes? Yeah, I kind of forgot my key at home. Happens a bit too often for my taste, you know? But the room you had Miss Bird open at that time was not your own, was it? I'm still not going to skip through it if, like, under most circumstances, just when repeat stuff comes up that doesn't allow me to instantly skip it. Which seems to happen a lot. What? You're quite the imagination. But why don't we ask the girl herself whose door she opened, shall we? I'm certain that it was Mr. Portsman's door, sir. I checked the number plate to make sure I was opening the right door, sir. See, Miss Bird backs up my story. Yet what if you had misled her to fool her into thinking what you wanted? Huh, and how do you suppose I did that? By switching the number plates on our doors, for example. That's right, they do slide out pretty easily. Furthermore, then you used one other thing to give a very strong impression. That the door she was opening was yours and not in fact mine. What was it that Mr. Portsman used to make Miss Bird think that it was his room?
Take that!
The basketball hoop. What? The basketball hoop, sir? It's quite a peculiar fixture in any hallway, let alone a hallway in this building. Which is why it left an unusually strong impression on you. It's an object perfectly suited to sit just outside the office of a peculiar prosecutor. Excuse me. He was so surprised he burped. That's very true, sir, because there was a basketball hoop sitting there. I thought the door I was opening had to be Mr. Portsman's. There are signs that the hoop has been moved. To sit in front of my office, to be sure. I see, so that's how you throw suspicion on people. Thanks for the tip. But I think your conjecture's a little off the racetrack. Conjecture's rebuttal. Now you're just spouting nonsense. I had the girl open my office door. After that, I was in my room the entire time. You don't have a single reason to suspect me. So intends to claim his innocence to the end, does he? I'm as pure and innocent as my jacket. And Miss Bird is as dirty and guilty as the jacket she wears. My jacket's not dirty, I'll have you know. I just washed it yesterday. Please calm down, for I intend to show who is the one truly covered in slime here. Slime. It's Karma. Karma's covered in slime. I had the girl open my office door. Portsman more like... God damn it, Karma. After that, I was in my room the entire time. You don't have a single reason to suspect me.
Hold it!
And what were you doing in your office? I was doing my usual training regimen. Training regimen? Were you going through your law books from start to finish? Mainly batting practice and some weights. Oh, and I jog when I get the chance. Wow, you must be the buffest prosecutor we have. With the weakest legal muscles, it would seem. I was just doing my usual workout, so... You don't have a single reason to suspect me.
Hold it!
I think I've given you quite a few reasons, actually.
Objection!
But none of those would stand up on their own.
Objection!
And what about all the evidence?
Objection!
Damn, they're really going at it. It's all circumstantial. No judge will convince me on such flimsy evidence. Rygon Plays, thank you so much for the raid. Oh my god, we are cooking tonight. Thank you. Let me give you a shout out. Not Rygon Platts. Hey there. Welcome, Raiders. What were you playing, Rygon? Welcome, Raiders. I don't have, like, an intro thing. Had some good raids myself, so I felt fair to pass on the love. Nice. Been doing well tonight myself. I'm Michael Macaw. I am a variety streamer. I stream random stuff, usually just full games. But occasionally I'll do some fun bits with other people or collab streams. Rarely, but I'm hoping to do more of them. Also, I'm a ghost right now. My PNG tuber is not solid. Now, Michael, say the thing. Everyone go follow Rygon Plays. Please do that. You're playing TCG Card Shop Simulator. Awesome. I need to play more sim games. He's cool, can confirm. Who? Who's cool? Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Seems to be trembling a little. One more little push. All I have to do is find the flaw in his testimony.
Hold it!
I may have to push him. Me, silly? Oh. I'm also very scatterbrained, so I will go off on tangents. Enjoy the simulator stuff. Good chill stuff. And of course, it's you. Thank you. I know, I'm just joking. Nonsense, you say? Yes, because I'm telling the truth here. That was a weird mid-animation stop. I had the girl open my office door. Using the master key, of course. Sure, you have a problem with that? That is what the master key is for, right? Perhaps we should place it in an elaborate labyrinth of some sort for people like you. A single reason to suspect you. I've noticed that, like, pressing and, like, doing the L and R buttons here, like, it takes a little while to open sometimes. I am very silly, yes. Reason to suspect you. Why didn't we check for prints on our door? Oh, because only Maggie's would be on there. Guess it's the note.
Objection!
No, it's not. It would behoove you to take a good look at this. I see it, but I fail to see how it has anything to do with me. Alright, you have a great stream. Looks like a great game. It is. If you like the Phoenix Wright series, this is a great entry in it. Take care of them. Thank you. Thanks so much. You did. Your doorknob has no prints because the criminal wiped it down. Oh, right. I see it, but I fail to see how it has anything to do with me. Is that so? You're not at the top of the game today, are you, Mr. Genius Prosecutor? Can't allow him to set the pace here. Must remain calm. Only by doing so can I find the fatal flaw in his reasoning. We're doing that a lot. Oh, right stick for that, okay. I'm like, how do I use those arrows? The game doesn't tell you. But it just says look around in the corner.
Objection!
That wasn't it either. I was in my room the entire time. Is there a way to present... Oh no, he wasn't. He wasn't in the room. That's why the note was there. Right evidence, just wrong statement. It's all good. I got it. I've played this game before, so I know the basic plot beats. I just haven't played it since it came out for the first time. So, like, specific presents, I will not know. I've played every Ace Attorney game at this point. I'm just doing this because I really want to stream them. That was a lie. What are you talking about? How is that a lie? This is a note that the victim left for you, Mr. Portsman. A note? It was left under your door, or did you not notice? And right here it says, but you're out. You were not in your room when the victim came to call on you. I thought I just saw something out the corner of my eye, and there's nothing there. So then, where were you and what were you doing? Ah! Shall explain it in full detail for you. You were busy snooping around in my room, the very room you had Miss Bird open for you.
Objection!
That's just nonsense. You'll be happy to know my Lollipop Chainsaw game on your Steam Deck runs well. It was more of it to test out. playing more of it to test out. So at least they have a way to play it. Like the game so much, lol. Yeah, I've heard it's good. I've never played it. It's one of those Suda games that like slipped my grasp back in the day. Probably because I didn't have an Xbox. But yeah, I would look into the remake. I don't think it's good, but apparently it's not good. But I would look into it, and I think my leg is bleeding again because I could feel it running down my leg. Uh-oh. I might have to stop. I mean, I'm gonna stop soon anyway. I moved my kneecap and I felt something drip. So I'm like, uh-oh. I must have pushed some blood out by accident. That's just nonsense. You have no evidence that I made the girl open your door for me. Oh yeah, by the way, this is the corner music for this game. Really good. Oh, but I do. I have very decisive evidence. No way! This is proof positive that you have Miss Bird open the door for you. Have you applied a bandage to it? I need to keep it open for now. I need to keep it open because I need to keep cleaning it. Fruity metallic jelly. What might the plot? This cornered music is ruined for you? Why? This is also naruhodo. This is one of the songs that's remastered if you put on the arranged soundtrack, which I'll do next case. Next case we'll put on the arranged soundtrack. Proof positive, yeah, Miss Bird opened the door for you. Her prints were not... Wait, no, Mr. Portsman... Oh. There's a prints weren't on the other doorknob. I had your door dusted for prints, just like her old boyfriend, Dustin Prince, who died, who was killed. Dumb fuck not tell you, it's salary cutting music. What? I never heard that. I know what you're getting at, but I never heard that before. Had your door dusted for prints. My door? What for? Come on, I bet you didn't even find anything. You sure are good at wasting time. You're right, I didn't find anything. And definitely not Miss Bird's fingerprints on the... I don't know why I tried to extend that line there. Her prints? What do they have to do with anything? Let's put it this way. If she really was the one who opened your door, then her print should naturally be on the doorknob she touched. Furthermore, all the prints on my office door's knob have been wiped clean off. I can only assume it's because Miss Bird's fingerprints were on it. Don't you think it's time you gave up your charade? We all know you stole into my office with the intent of stealing something from me. And Detective Faith found you out. Probably because he heard sounds coming from a room whose occupant was on leave. Mr. Portsman, you killed Mr. Faith to silence him. And I had the misfortune to return when I did. You had to threaten me as you escaped. Lollipop Chainsaw's also on the PS3 and never had a PS3. Meme of Edgeworth updated autopsy report. Oh. As I said when you had the gun to my back, no one gets away with committing murder in my office. Just what's so funny, pal? Well, that look of stiff seriousness on the face of this office's finest... Office? Whoa, why did I turn New Jersey for a second? On this office's finest prosecutor. As he makes a huge mistake in accusing me is simply too much to bear. There's just nothing else like it in the world. What? Mr. Edgeworth just explained it all, and he even backed it up. You're the murderer. Stop trying to be slippery and just admit to the crime already. Break down, break down, break... Listen. I'm gonna have a mental breakdown. I wanted to get myself drawn as a JoJo character, like in JoJo style, and I know an artist who does it really well, and years ago I asked if they were open for commissions, and they said yes, and then they never got back to me when I inquired further, and I was really upset. Cherry, blue raspberry, best in the boardwalk.
Great flavors, mango, cherry, blue raspberry, watermelon, chocolate, and a lot more. It was voted the best on the boardwalk. There's no dairy, no fat, no cholesterol. Don't pass up your free sample. We have a lot of flavors too. Pick your favorite. Try something refreshing.
Wow, this is a lot longer than I remember it being. Polish water ice, best in the boardwalk. I am from New Jersey, by the way, so I do have the New Jersey accent sometimes. As I said earlier, it's all so circumstantial, so full of conjecture. You say you checked on my doorknob for prints? Well, I can readily confess that I'd wipe that doorknob down well. Eh? I'm a little obsessive-compulsive, you see. I didn't want to touch a doorknob that you'd touched, which is why I wiped the knob down as soon as I could after you opened the door. After that, it makes perfect sense that only Jim's and my own prints would be on there. You made that up just now, didn't you? Furthermore, as for the note Jim left for me, do you know exactly when that was? For all we know, he could have left it there before I arrived at the office. Like early evening, for example. Are you saying you failed to notice a note in your doorway? Hey, even geniuses fail sometimes. Ah, my ears. I was probably too preoccupied by work-related matters. Matters? My god, what is wrong with me? Although that's no excuse. Now that's just a flat-out lie. There's no way you didn't notice a note that size. Ah, but you can't prove that, can you? Say something, Mr. Edgeworth. Back me up here, sir. Portsman makes a good point. Can't prove that he didn't simply overlook it. Besides, I have an airtight alibi. Airtight, you say? Blood loss is affecting your reading comprehension. I drank an iron-filled energy drink, like breakfast drink, afterwards to hopefully regain some of the iron I lost in the blood that I shed. You need some beans and chili? You're making me hungry, and now I'm tempted to go downstairs and make chili at 4 in the morning. Airtight, you say? Well, I just realized I had one as we were talking. Guess it would be better off for you all, better for us all if I told you to... Oh, God. Guess it would have been better for us all if I had told you sooner. Is this case almost over? Or do we have, like, another investigation period? If memory serves, you came back to this office at around 2 a.m., correct? And it was then that you had the unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint with the culprit. But at exactly that time, I was down in criminal affairs. Ask around, I'm sure the other detectives will corroborate my story. It's the perfect alibi. This is the final boss of the chapter, yeah. Do you really think it's that perfect? Like I said, I don't care. Ask around all you like. You'll see for yourself. Detective Gumshoe? Sir, yes sir, I'll go check out his alibi, sir. Be right back. Portsman's like, how the fuck do I kill Edgeworth in that time? Mr. Edgeworth, sir, I think we're in trouble. Just like Mr. Portsman said. Guys down in criminal affairs said they saw him at around 2 a.m. You see? All the evidence points to him being the culprit. So there must be a contradictory point in his alibi somewhere. Doctors are so expensive. $41 for an ear infection. Mine is getting better, though. Huh. My ears aren't infected. They were just itchy. Itchy to the point where I could feel it in other parts of my body. Came back to this office at 2 a.m. Is at that point? Yeah.
Hold it!
How did we break out of this one? So you paid the Criminal Affairs Department a visit. Yep. Right after I left the prosecutor's building, I headed straight for the precinct. Ask around. I'm sure the other detectives will corroborate my story. ZL and ZR do the same things as R and L, which I feel is kind of wasted. There's like other options they could have had there. The other insurance, my meds would have been $100. America, yeah. I mean, without my insurance, I would have had to pay for my flu and COVID shots today. I think I need to go to bed. I have a dentist appointment tomorrow, just a cleaning, but yeah, I probably should head off. Alright, good luck with that. Don't let them stab your gums. And thank you for coming by, EV2, as always. Appreciate it. And it was just as I said, right? Yes, sir. A number of detectives said that they saw you at around that time. Whoa. See? Had the perfect alibi. That's the ace I had up my sleeve. Ah. Portsman's alibi may seem perfect at first glance, but I know there's a hole in it somewhere. All I need to do is press him a little and see what comes out of it.
Hold it!
You're correct, it was around 2 a.m. Are you sure? It's really important to me that you're spot on with that time. I remember checking my watch then, and make no mistake, it was 2. Oh, giving testimony like a pro. Okay, so you came back to your office at 2.
Hold it!
It's as you say, however. Yes, however, you're the only one who claims to have bumped into the culprit. So tell me, did you see the person's face? Was it me you saw? It was a pitch black, so I couldn't actually see.
Objection!
Oh, come now, I'm sure you saw something. Try a little harder, why don't you? I'm beginning to feel like I'm the one being interrogated here. Oh, well, it doesn't matter if you remember or not. It only matters that you ran into the culprit. Supposed to have insurance with your medical checkup? Yeah, you are. Okay, to be fair, all of us are approaching this with an American mindset. Karma is not from America. We do not know how insurance works over there. Not all of us. I know there are more than one non-American in this chat right now. Lucky you guys. Impossible. He actually does have the perfect alibi. What's wrong? Why the sudden sullen look on your face? Can you say anything back, Mr. Edgeworth? I don't like the cross-examinations where you press everything, and then the character's like, I can't do anything! Because then it's suddenly like, okay, we gotta wait for an opportunity to come up now. It's just like a plot forward pusher, rather than something I actually have to figure out. Speaking of meds, if I didn't have insurance, I'd have to pay a lot for your meds. Like, one of your meds is $1,000, so I'm just glad I have a job that offers good insurance. Same. I got decent insurance right now, and it will suck if I lose it, but I also don't really want to work at my job anymore. Can't say anything back, Mr. Edgeworth? I think I reached the end of the line, and it's time to get off this crazy train. You there! Sir, please escort the young lady out, but remember, be gentle. Maggie! Detective Gumshoe! Go to bed now, I just want to put your 2 cents in, it's all good. Is there nothing I could do? There must be some way to turn this situation around. If only I had a clue. Did I miss something that could help me cast doubt on his alibi? I need to calmly think this through one more time, and with logic. The intruder I met could not have been Mr. Portsman. Then who could it have been? The other handgun. There were 2 bullets left at the scene of the crime. One that robbed Mr. Faith of his life. And one that nearly robbed me of my jacket. That I never wear anymore because of my first trial, a guy died. However, the motor weapon only shows signs of being fired once. Meaning that's entirely possible that a second gun was used in my office tonight. But seeing as how the killer had to steal Mr. Faith's gun, I doubt the killer had another gun up their sleeve. Therefore, the second gun could have been the property of an entirely different person, which could mean that there was another person who paid a visit to my office tonight. Supposing there was yet another visitor tonight, that would also resolve the issue of why my shelves were upended twice. We know that the shelves were disturbed once before and once after the murder, so it shouldn't be much of a stretch to think that it was the work of 2 different people. Once by the person who stole the victim's gun and then killed him with it, and once again after the murder by our second culprit, who was the owner of the second gun. If we suppose that the second culprit's gun was the one that was pointed at my back.
Objection!
Mr. Portsman, it seems that I need to amend my assumptions regarding this case. Great, so you've finally come to your senses. Mr. Edgeworth? Sir, what are you saying? This has been a big misunderstanding on my part from the start. I'd assumed that the person I ran into was the killer, but that may not have been the case. What do you mean? The person I ran into was just your average thief. A thief? But sir, doesn't that cause some sort of contradiction of the facts? Not at all. It simply means that the killer was someone else. And it means that in actuality, 2 culprits stole into my office tonight. What do you mean, 2? It explains why both my shelves were disturbed twice, and how there were 2 guns. Mr. Portsman tricked Miss Bird into gaining entry into my room.
Objection!
Now you're just leading the argument. You still don't have any actual proof, you know. If you could please go along with my hypothetical scenario for now, Mr. Portsman. In the end, if you really are innocent, you should have nothing to worry about. Now then, returning to my scenario, Mr. Portsman was out to steal something from me, which is why he checked my secret safe and ransacked my shelves. This is the first time. So then this would be when the files were put back in the wrong order, right? Correct. And then, just when he was about to look somewhere else, who else would walk in but his own partner, Mr. Faith? But why did Mr. Faith come to your room, sir? Fate probably had business with Mr. Portsman, which is why he was in the area. But that's when he noticed sounds coming from my office, would be my guess. Oh, because you were supposed to be away, right? He must have thought it was odd, so he came into this office to check it out. Correct, and as a detective, that was the right thing to do. But when he came in, he found his own partner standing there. As it was Mr. Portsman, Mr. Fate probably let his guard down. Mr. Portsman was not so merciful as to let him leave alive. He waited for a chance and stole Mr. Fate's gun from him, and then... he killed him. He silenced Mr. Fate for catching him in the act of stealing. This is the moment in which the first shot was fired. The one that landed in my files. The Edgeworth files. It's an ARG horror game, or horror series, with animatronic puppets. Following that, Mr. Portsman wiped the gun down and left it behind as he made his exit.
The rabbit is starving.
Sorry. He could afford to do that because he had left the fake dying message behind. You're such a complicated troublemaker, you know that? Well, if things were as simple as that, then all would be solved. However, there was yet another visitor to my room, and this is where it gets complicated. Follow me here, guys. There was another visitor, sir? Yes, and this other person's objective was also to steal something from me. Now then, even after Mr. Portsman left, the door to my office remained unlocked. However, this new visitor had no way of knowing that, and so, they stole the master key from the security guard's room, and then entered my room and searched through my shelves. The art style does not do Jim's dead body justice. He looks like he got hemorrhoids. God damn it, Karma. This was the second time they were disturbed, and it seems the thief found their prize. They stole the O file, right, sir? Correct. Only just as the thief was about to leave with the file, I appeared. The thief then threatened me with their own gun and made their escape. Their second bullet was fired during that brief encounter. So the shelves getting messed up twice in the 2 bullets. It was all because 2 different people were doing those things at 2 different times. Precisely. So now do you see, Mr. Portsman? The person I met was just a thief, and was not, in fact, Mr. Fate's killer. Your alibi for the time frame which I ran into the other person is now irrelevant. Because we now know that the murder took place during the first culprit's visit.
Objection!
What's so funny, pal? Absolutely splendid. Your scenario explains everything. That visitor wanted a cookie on Edgeworth's desk, so that's so stale. What? Someone had to say it. Yeah, I guess so. Of course it does. It's Mr. Edgeworth, after all. But you know, it still doesn't change the fact that it's all circumstantial. Supposing that if, and that's a big if, your theory is right. Oh, I had to let out a big burp there. It would indeed render my alibi, which has withstood scrutiny, mind you, irrelevant. But there's still one defining point of your argument for which you have no evidence. Your supposition that I was the first visitor. Mr. Edgeworth, you can't let him get away with that, sir. But he has a point. I have absolutely no proof at this point. Don't say that, sir. I don't believe this. Don't worry, Maggie. I'll do something if I must. You know something? I find your attitude to be somewhat peculiar, Mr. Edgeworth. If the person you met was really just a plain old thief, then why is it the person not your main suspect? That is, if your theory is correct. Oh yeah, the Edgeworth games have 3 cross-examination themes. What was the first one? Allegro's the second one, and then also has Presto is the third one. Moderato. Or, yeah, Moderato, Allegro, and Presto. That thief you ran into should be your real suspect, wouldn't you say? We should be out there looking for that thief right now. They might still be nearby. Hate to repeat myself, but as I've already said, I was training in my room. And when Jim came to deliver some evidence to me, I was down at Criminal Affairs. So I can't be expected to know what happened around here after I left. So you think you should be out there looking for the real thief, or for the thief, rather. Of course, now's the time to be having these dead-end discussions. I don't think it's all dead-ended. I find your alibi to be fascinating. Let's continue where we left off, shall we? I know he's lying. I know he was here at the scene of the crime. I have to find a way to prove it. My chair's sinking again. Getting too heavy.
Hold it!
Actually, no, I wouldn't. Why not? That's elementary, the dying message, of course. Mr. Fate's killer clearly left those letters on the spine of those files, and it was after they were on those files that the thief stole one of them. I mean, the O files, right? And that's how we were able to set up we know the letters themselves were a setup and not from Mr. Fate. If the thief was the killer, do you think they would try to undermine themselves? Ah! Or maybe the killer just didn't think of that either. Yes, that must be it. Maybe, just maybe.
Hold it!
That's sure way too long. It's been near a decade. I should get a new one soon. I've had this one a couple years. My brother gave it to me because we both got the same one. Then he got a new one. Mine got worn out, so I took his. And I'm still using that one. But I might get a new one at some point in the near future. I don't know yet. Once escaped, I highly doubt a thief would linger nearby. Well, you never know. Maybe they didn't get what they were really after. Oh, you talk like you know quite a bit about this thief. Sorry, Karma, that position's already taken. I already have someone who who's offered to be that for me. No, Karma's not going to be a chair. I already have a chair. A person who would volunteer to be a chair. Why are we having this conversation? It's nothing like that. I have no idea about anything, after all. I hate to repeat myself, but as I've already said, I was training in my room.
Hold it!
But according to Mr. Fate's note... Hold on, I thought we already cleared that up. Didn't we just say that Jim left a note for me in the early evening? You have proof that he left at a different time, say just before he was murdered. I don't have any, no. You see? So I insist again that it was in my office the entire time. Couch. Yeah, a couch would be nice. Recliner so I can throw up my feet while I'm streaming. To be honest, like I said, I've been thinking about getting a new headset set up so that I don't have to use a standing mic to stream. And then I can stream from my TV, because I'll be able to just keep the microphone over there. I would just need a way to play, I would just need a way for chat to show up while I'm playing over there. That'd make Ring Fit. I probably could return to Ring Fit if I did that.
Hold it!
Why didn't you go there with Mr. Faith? That's because he said he was tired and was going to take a quick nap. You know those sofas in the hallway? He likes to sleep on those. It's one of his habits. One of the evidence he brought. They were things related to yesterday's case. Just two things. A gun and a pendant. Interesting. This piece of testimony seems too crucial to let slip through the cracks. Probably two items. A gun and a pendant that are related to yesterday's case.
Hold it!
A gun and a pendant. Yes, this gun, which was the murder weapon, and this pendant, which belonged to the victim. And why were you taking them to criminal affairs? There was something on a past case file I wanted to compare these two to, but it all has nothing to do with this case right now. Anyway, I believe you'll find the long paper trail I left to be to your satisfaction. This is all matching up with the Detective Gumshoe found out.
Hold it!
I can't expect you to know, can I? Nope, but I guess you could expect me to take a guess based on logical deductions. Oh, then let's see you deduce. Jim waited for me to leave, then stole the master key, for the purpose of sneaking into your room, of course. And that's when Miss Bird caught him red-handed, and the murder occurred. It's all exactly as I laid out earlier. I know he's lying. I know he was here at the scene of the crime. Just to find a way to prove it. So the three cross-examination themes, the cornered theme, and then one other theme, are the 5 songs that get rearranged if you turn the rearranged soundtrack on. For both this game and the next game, I believe. So we'll hear those songs when we play the second case. I might switch back and forth each case. Alright, 2 items, a gun and a pendant, that are related to yesterday's case. If it was related to the case, why was only 1 shot fired?
Objection!
Damn it, that wasn't it. I subject to your line of logic. Which part do you have an objection to? It's, yes, well, stay cool, Mr. Edgeworth. You're no good when you're all flustered. Detective is right for a change. How did it come to this? Calm down, Miles. Listen carefully and think everything through a bit more rationally. Flustered. Wait, yeah. 3 pieces of evidence.
Objection!
Only 2 pieces. I believe the proper phrase here is, you fail. Edgeworth, what kind of comeback is that? Excuse me? You fail as a prosecutor, Mr. Portsman, as you intend to keep evidence hidden from me. Karma, why'd you BRB just to come back 2 seconds later? What are you talking about? I haven't hidden anything from you. Well, here's a piece I think you should read. Carefully. It says that Mr. Faith was bringing 3 pieces. Yes, and this is the victim's real dying message to you, Mr. Portsman. I can't believe to get tripped up by simple arithmetic. Where is the missing piece of evidence? It's... You have it, don't you? Only the guilty would make such a face. Detective Gumshoe? You don't have to say it, sir. I'll pat the guy down from head to toe. Just don't come any closer. I'm warning you. It's all part of the investigation, pal, so don't even think about stopping me. Look at him. Look how strong he looks. I'm doing this because I know Karma finds Gumshoe very attractive. No! Hey, what's this? He had this on him, sir. Despite what you said, it would appear that you do have something to hide. Why would he hide something like that? Only one reason why anyone would hide evidence of this caliber. Because it would be unequivocally point to that person himself as the real killer. Let's examine this videotape in a little more detail. The section of the tape that will drive the last nail into his coffin. KG8 incident. That's a police case number, sir. Does this mean this video is evidence from that case? Interesting. However, what's recorded on this isn't important. What's important right now? Let's give this casing a thorough once-over. That's blood, isn't it? Yes, and I believe this is what the good prosecutor was trying to hide from us. This blood is still fresh. You mean this might be Detective Fate's blood? No, you've got it all wrong. No amount of denial can save you. We have but to run a blood test to find the truth. You told us that you had received evidence from the victim earlier. Now you will tell us when and how did the victim's blood find its way onto this video. Yeah, it's totally suspicious. Was it the moment of his death? Did Detective Fate have this videotape on his personage when you killed him? You know very well there's no way to prove that. Not even if we were to examine this tape for fingerprints. If I had to take a guess, I'd say that the only ones on here would belong to the murderous you and Mr. Faith. No, impossible. And he swallowed his chocolate medallion. Kind of a weak breakdown. March 14th, 5:47 a.m. High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. Mr. Portsman been placed under arrest for the murder of Detective Buddy Faith, sir. Very good. And the results we got back from the lab techs on the tape turned out to be real solid, sir. The blood work came back and it was definitely Mr. Fate's blood in there. And as a bonus, they were also able to lift a few of Mr. Fate's fingerprints as well. Thank you so very much, Mr. Edgeworth. Still can't believe I got to see your cool deduction skills outside the courtroom. I'm impressed beyond words, sir. It was nothing. I'm just sorry you got caught up in a murder in my office. This breakdown was you after McDonald's, yeah. Munch. It is the first case, yeah, true. Him here. And also, oh god, that guy right as he broke down, yeah. Or seeing Macaw, but damn it, Karma. Please accept my apologies. Oh, it was nothing, really. Compared to what I've been through, I mean. I consider myself lucky that it was only a burglary and a murder this time, sir. it had been a holdup or a hostage situation, I'd have thrown my hands up in the air. I think I'm finally rising up from a goddess of misfortune to just an unlucky person. Something tells me we should have hired a different person for security detail. You know something, sir? That Mr. Portsman really was one corrupt prosecutor. Why would you say he was corrupt? Well, I heard there was a number of suspicious things related to his court cases. There's even rumors about some of the evidence he uses being forged, sir. Forged evidence, huh? And they say he even decided not to prosecute a few cases for some really vague reasons. Oh, that guy's a complete disgrace to the entire profession. We never did get around to asking what his reason for breaking into my office was. Yeah, whenever we got near that topic, he just clammed up. Although we can be pretty certain it has to do with was to steal something. This is just between you and me, sir, but there's a rumor that some sort of huge organization is involved behind the scenes. Oh, well, well. Mr. Portsman not willing to divulge anything, it certainly lends credence to that rumor. Excuse me. It would seem that we haven't heard the last of this. Huh? Then Mr. Portsman isn't the bad guy? I didn't say that, but rather there are still many more mysteries for us to solve. For example, we still haven't figured out who the significance of this piece of evidence.
Take that!
The person who stole this file, the other villain of the night. Yeah, I wonder who it was, and what happened to the stolen pages. I wonder, who in the world was it that held me up at gunpoint? Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Yes? I came across this while I was processing your office earlier. This card. What is it, sir? Is that a bird or something on there? It's not just any bird. It is the mark of the raven. A three-legged raven. Even you should know what this is, Detective. Oh, it's about that thing, isn't it? The great thief everyone's talking about. Yes, it's the mark of the great thief, Yatagarasu. Under the mark of a legendary bird, the Yatagarasu is a noble to the end. A modern Robin Hood. Mercurial News, Special Edition. Yatagarasu haunts embassy. Noble Yatagarasu, vigilante of the business world, reappears. Labeled mysterious and phantom-like, the Yatagarasu appears and vanishes at will. Though we don't know much about this thief's ultimate goal, we do know the targets. Also, hey Razumari, I didn't say hi to you before. Yatagarasu reappears, corporate dealings exposed. Speedy Times, Mercurial News. The Yatagarasu likes to find and make public evidence of corrupt dealings of all sorts. The theft is always performed in silence and always with perfection. Once a target is chosen, no dramatic calling card or announcement is sent forth. Instead, the chosen corporation is infiltrated without even the target noticing. Some days later, the evidence that was found is sent out to the mass media, along with this single card. Although it's been a while since the Yatagarasu's last appearance. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, look! Something's written on the back! What? Let me see. It's the location of where the thief put the stolen files. That is not English on there. That is a mystery language. So the person who stole the contents of the file was the Yatagarasu? Yatagarasu. Organization. Quite a few keywords are popping up in this mystery. More Zelda-ish than English, yeah. Oh, I know who the mysterious guy is now. I just remembered. We won't be finding out for quite a long time. The murder in my office. The return of the great thief, Yatagarasu. Looking back, I can't say I didn't see these events coming. For they were heralded by the incidents that began to occur 2 days ago. That's right, we're going back in time here. And I'm gonna make myself, much more solid. The end. Turnabout Visitor awarded. Alright, we're just gonna stop here. I don't think there's any way to back out, though. No, there isn't. Oh, shit. Oh, no, okay, it takes you to the, turn of the menu. Good. Yatagarasu, Noble Thief, seems like my kind of MO. Yeah. So next time, we will start Episode 2, Turnabout Airlines, and I assure you we will not be finishing these in one night each from here on out. But, yeah, quite a good start. So, again, this game, turn about and slap yourself about. God damn it. So again, this game doesn't go in proper timeline order. We're starting here, and now we're going back 2 days, and I think the next 2 cases are before this first case. Why is it so quiet? New items unlocked in the gallery. Okay, whatever. Holy cow, everyone. Thank you so much for coming by tonight. Thank you for all the raids, all the views. We've hit a high. Like, follows, views, bits, everyone. We had, like, how many raids did we have tonight? I have to, like actually look at this and find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 raids tonight, yeah. We have 32 people here right now. That's incredible. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the bits. Thank you for the sub. Thank you for coming by and just chatting. It means a lot to me. It really does. I just saw a picture of Wolf Glick dressed up as Kieran. Great. That's amazing. I will be back soon, probably tomorrow, with, everyone wants to see the Borb? Yeah. Here's the Borb. Large and in charge. I'll be back tomorrow with probably Visions of Mana, but I'll see. I have to see what I'm up to. I am going to go ahead and throw a raid to someone, though. And that someone will be... I just raided Tenchio Luma. 13th Seahawk is playing VR chat. Rumen Gray is playing Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise. Salty Rat. Chubby. We got a lot of people here right now. Salty Rat? Okay, you know what? Since you said that at the same time I did. Let me prep that up. Alright. More Ace Attorney Investigations, Miles Edgeworth coming up soon. More Visions of Mana. At some point we will go back to Kingdom Hearts and Star Force 3. Probably finish those both off pretty quickly. And Zelda next week. Did I say that already? I don't know. And yeah. We'll see if any other special stuff comes up. There is the pool toy stream that I want to do, but I don't know when I'm going to be able to do that. But thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Stick around. Say hi to a Salty Rat for me. And, yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Take care, and have a great night.
Great flavors: mango, cherry, blue raspberry.